Sorry about that. I had to put in the correct data for this. This is RCR Podcast 33. We are joined by Tom Mix, certified beer judge, and we're doing regular beer reviews again. And I need to hopefully not get elegantly wasted this time, because last time I was destroyed at the end of this because I can't keep up with a professional. So we're in this for the long haul tonight. So you're in for a treat. This is Thursday night, and we're starting at 9:35, and I don't know when we're finishing. So, hey Quinn, I saw your email, that we got a stage for pump primers, so check your email. First. Hey, it's Burgundy Burnouts. And I think we're going to have, now we have two windows. One for super chats, one for regular chats, and we can go in between them. I need to get like a second monitor. So, let's see. Control plus. Yeah, so we can see this. So, we can go in between the two so everybody gets their chance. So, get your beer questions ready, because we have a beer judge here who not only knows how to rate them, but also what goes on inside the beer. How would you describe what it is that you do, Tom?
I have a PhD in chemical engineering, so I know about molecules and stuff. Beer molecules. Burgundy Burnouts, is that a wine thing? Do you like drink wine and drive cars, or Burgundy's style of wine? What's
Junk up? SW22, what's up? By the way, let us know with the levels how we're doing here, because I have the ability to adjust as we go. I have the mics probably more hot than they need to be, but that's so we don't have to be on mic. But
I can hear the slurping.
Yeah, I know.
Is that too? All right.
Good. This one here. Angle back toward you. Aim at the red tape, and that's where the mic hears. So actually, you're quite Tom. Let's do a mic check on you.
A mic check? Why would you want to do a mic check on me when I'm talking about stuff and things and sibilance and first time, second time?
Keep it
the
up.
Color of my car. Okay, cool. Burgundy Burnout says,
that Tom's
Burgundy
fine?
Is the color of your car.
Ah.
Yeah, Burgundy's not cheap though, actually. So most of it. Cheap Burgundy's not very good, and good Burgundy is very, very expensive. So are you gonna eat on the microphone there?
Yeah, I am gonna eat on the microphone. I don't know if you're watching this, we're not gonna put this one on iTunes because it's just gonna be
slurp chomp slurp.
Okay. Tom Finn says on the stream the other day you were talking about AE92 Corollas. I have an AE92 GLX, but not a GT. It's a 5-speed stick with the awful but reliable 4 AFE. First carb, best car. Love the show. Thanks, Tom.
I have no input on that.
Right.
I don't know what most of those things mean.
But we have a double setup now with the camera. Normally the good camera is on the other side so they can see us, but you're seeing us through the web camera on the laptop, and over here we have a camera set up so we can talk about the beer in question, which will go here. Let's get right into it, Tom. What do you want to do first?
Okay, it's summer, so a lot of these beers are lower ABV and brighter. Some have fruit in them, and so the first one I wanted to pick was something that is an example of what not to do if you want a beer with fruit in it.
Oh boy.
It is Bud Light Orange.
I didn't even know they did this.
So, hot on the heels of the success of Bud Light Lime, is Bud Light Orange. And so I figured we would start with that and get it out of the way before we got into the actual good beer.
Sam says, where's the Roman? Roman's doing other stuff tonight.
Do you have a glass there?
I need to go get one.
All right. Nice pour there.
Okay.
Why? Oh, God, why? Like I said, we're getting it out of the way. I thought people might be curious about it, and I want to keep people from actually trying it. Don't want to give too much
Clayton
away.
Eisler says, your levels are always fine. You overanalyze it, you radio yuppie. I know.
People on the chat overanalyze it, too.
Please drink more Magic Hat.
There's no Magic Hat here today, unfortunately. But, oh, man.
So what is it you're smelling, Tom?
It smells like Orange Clean. Or Orange Glow. You know, did Billy Mays sell Orange Glow?
He sold Oxy.
Orange Clean with the power of oranges!
God damn it.
Yes, it smells like Orange Clean. Yeah. Okay, so you know Bud Light.
Yeah.
So if you mixed Bud Light with orange soda, that's about where you'd be at here. It says real orange peels.
Have a little, please.
It says brewed with real orange peels and natural flavors, but it's pretty artificially orange to me. I guess Orange Glow has orange oil in it too, but it's really artificially, and it's very sweet to me.
Oh, it's Jolly Ranchers.
That shit is gross. That is a hidden comment. You should show that because it's true. William Rohr. Yeah, it's not great, Bob. You know, there is a beery kind of finish to it. It's not super sweet all the time. It's not
fuzzy.
just fuzzy.
Why ask why? Try Bud Orange.
Well, Burgundy Burnouts, I would not recommend this as a starter beer. Although, if you are trying to switch from Alco Pops, like Smirnoff Ice, to beer, this is a good kind of bridge. Because it does sort of taste like beer. It tastes like beer that is mixed with, you know, Sunkissed.
Yeah, that's it.
Sunkissed is, yeah.
Would I be offending you if I poured this out?
No.
Okay.
You can keep it as a rinse. Yeah. I don't know what I was expecting, but I think that this is not that good. What makes a beer and not just alcohol? Well, it's brewed. Usually a beer is brewed with grains that are steeped in water, and when it's cooked, the sugar breaks down in the grains, and then the sugar ferments into alcohol. So all beer has alcohol, but not all alcohol is beer. Mm-hmm. This, right, like a rhombus and a square. Yeah, geometry. Mm-hmm. Mrs. Reed up in here. Okay, so let's just get rid of that because yuck. German purity laws. Yes, many German purity laws were violated in the making of this beer, James Steele.
What are the German... Do we have
the Reinheitsgebot. I think we talked about this last time, but basically there was this law in the 14th, 15th century, I think. 15th, 16th. I don't know.
Oh.
Late Renaissance, early Enlightenment.
Someone asked about Genesee. Here in Rochester, we call it canal water.
Genesee, yeah. Jenny Cream. Jenny Cream's my house beer when I lived in upstate New York. For sure. Beer gives me the shits. Well, it's got a lot of complex carbohydrates. So I have some other fruit beer here that might be better. I haven't had this one, so I'm not sure. This is called Chrissy. It is from SingleCut.
Random Review says, what is the worst beer you've ever had? Natty Ice was the worst beer we've ever had. Jordan Geiser, thanks for the $5, Jordan. Budweiser plus Clemento Piante is the only good. Sorry, I have to.
The Michelada, right? Yeah, or it's called Chelada, the Budweiser one, I think. The Budweiser Chelada is actually not terrible. You're right, and I like a good red beer, or Michelada. It's like the Bloody Mary of making a beer with a Bloody Mary, basically.
Really?
So you have this tomato and spice mix. that you pour into your usually Mexican lager, Sol or Tecate or Dos Equis. I really like them, and they're a great breakfast beer. I mean, for the aspiring beer drinker on the go, if you want to have beer at 8 in the morning or 11 in the morning or whatever and still feel like you're having breakfast, the Bloody Mary of beer, the Michelada, is quite good. We don't have any of those today, although tomato is a fruit. That is not one of the fruits that have arrived today. So this beer, we said Bud Light Orange is not the right way to do this. Let's see if we can find a good way to use citrus in beer. So this is called Chrissy. It's from SingleCut, which is in Queens. Turn off slow mode.
I'm not turning off slow mode because when a lot of people get in here, we wouldn't be able to read the chat.
I tried to crash my slow-mobile.
What's that from?
Futurama.
Nice.
SingleCut is in Queens, New York. And Chrissy is a Gose style. Gose, which means it's going to be a light, sour style. And often a Gose will be sour and have a hint of salt. So let's see. This particular one also has lemon verbena added. So should be lemony Gose. Pour over here.
Shout out from Russell and the boys.
Russell.
I'm not sure who Russell is.
Russell.
All of these East Coast beers that I'd never heard of. Where are you from, Troy? Are we doing specifically? Well, East Coast beer?
I have a bunch of Midwest ones too. Okay. I don't have any West Coast today.
You know what? I'm gonna mic you up just a little bit closer.
Okay. I guess I'm close to the beer, so.
Yeah.
So this is. Where's the bottle? This is Chrissy. It's a lemon Gose or Gose. Gose is a kind of a light sour style. You'll see lots of different Gose puns out there, like goes to 11 or goes with everything. Here it goes again, etc. This one is just Chrissy.
AJ Allen says, thanks for $2, AJ. Ever tried Rheingeharst?
Rheingeist.
Cincinnati represent. I'm not sure what that is. Do you know what that is?
I want to say that I had one time. No, it was Rivertown from Cincinnati. May not have had it. I have not had this beer before, so I did not vet it before we came in.
Got some spice.
It's quite tart.
You know what this... They make... at 1787 Brewing in Hamburg, they made this one beer that tasted kind of like this. I forget what it was, but its name was called Boil Water Advisory. And it had like this super peppery finish right now. I'm sorry to interrupt, but Kayla Kid 117, thanks for $5 Canadian.
Canadian?
Yep. Funny,
I'm drinking Rolling Rock and you're from Canada?
You're from Canada and you're drinking Rolling Rock?
What are you doing?
First of all, you can get it up there. Second of all, it would be under imports. And then third of all, really?
I'm getting the link so I can put it on my Twitter. You can find me on Twitter, by the way, at TomMixDrinks. And you can find me on Untapped as well if you're Untapped people. UNTAPPD is an app that you can use to track your beer. I'm on there too as Tom Mix Drinks.
Mike Borakaka, am I pronouncing that right? Says that Yuengling is his go-to beer. I had Yuengling's Golden Pilsner. I thought it tasted like somewhere between the premium and the lager, more toward the premium side. Matt Carlton really likes it, and I thought it was general purpose Yuengling E. That finish that Yuengling always has that none other beer has. Kind of like a buttery, almost Foster's finish.
I have not had it. I thought about bringing it today. Matt is also a BJCP judge, and I think he's actually ranked higher than me at this point. But I think, when you're judging at a competition, you're judging in terms of style. Like, is this a good Pilsner, right? Like at the Westminster Dog Show, is this a good Yorkshire Terrier?
Okay.
Right? You wouldn't judge a Yorkie and a Labrador the same way,
Right.
but there are things that make a Yorkie and a Lab that you want to look for. So I'm sure if Matt said it's a fine Pilsner, I'm sure it's a fine Pilsner. Does that mean it's good? No. Nate Pronitis says, Troegs just came to my state. We have 2 Troegs beers today, representing here the Pennsylvania. So let me just get back to this, Chrissy. It is really sour.
Yeah.
It's so it's supposed to be tart, right? But it's this one, I think, and maybe it's just because we had the Bud Light orange and it was super sweet.
Yeah.
Like we drank orange juice before,
Yeah.
when you make like Captain Crunch and you take a sip of orange juice and then you go back to the Captain Crunch.
No, but okay.
And you go back to the orange juice and the orange is like super sour because like the Captain Crunch is all in the milk.
Oh. Okay.
I think that might be what happened here.
We have a car question
Probably
here.
revisit this later. You can take that.
Alex Landers, thanks for $5, Alex. I just bought a 94 KA 5-speed hardbody. Pickup truck. Partly because of your review. Truly the last great mini truck. Yeah, I think so too. The regular Toyota pickup truck was good as well. And the Toyota T100, of course, that's getting into sort of a large pickup truck. But yeah, you're still trying to finish the last podcast. Oh, the last podcast was Justin Burnash. We went 3 hours. But good car questions on this one. And I'll be happy to answer any car questions that you have tonight. But it's definitely going to be beer centric, and I'm going to keep doing Rick with there. So thanks for your question, Alex.
Keep ricking out.
Anybody had anything from Jackie O's out of?
Yes.
Jackie O's out of Athens, Ohio.
Scroll up to that one about IPAs. Quick. Juicy IPAs. We have one here from a little place in Iowa called Toppling Goliath. That we'll address that New England IPA and juicy IPA thing later. But good question. Okay, you have a truck question.
Mr. R, Wolfensberg. Thanks for $10, Wolf. Volwens. Von Waffenberg. Von Waffenberg. There we go. Mr. R, you've been getting offered semi-trucks, I've noticed, but no CDL, Peterbilt official truck of blank. Yeah, I don't have a CDL license. I don't have a medical card. And I am not air brake endorsed. So I don't know what to do when people offer me their semi-trucks. I mean, the first thing is that I don't have...
Can you drive it on, like, private land?
Yes. If it's on private land, anybody can drive anything they want. You're not on public roads. Laws don't apply. But, good luck trying to find private land where you can drive a bobtail around. And a bobtail is a funny way of saying you're driving a tractor-trailer truck without the trailer on it.
Why is it called a bobtail?
No idea.
Like... I bet my money on a bobtail nag. Do. Camptown races. Sing this song.
I don't know.
Camptown race tracks rock my song. No, we do that day. No.
Yeah. I had no idea. Hurricane Ian says, as I eat with a mouthful of food, thanks for the hurricane. Thanks for the $2, Hurricane
If I were
Ian.
listening to this podcast, I would murder you. I hate the sound of people chewing in my ear. It's
Let's go get a whole bunch of Funyuns and chew with our mouth open. Yo, what's up, guys? Just got in. We're in a marathon beer session tonight. That's what's up, Ian. Thanks.
What do we call it, Merit? No, there's 8. But the Bud Light Orange doesn't count. Alrighty.
Do they
Now that I
sell
put my own social media
Sweetwater or Terrapin in Pennsylvania? Any thoughts on those? What are those?
I've seen them around, but I don't think in PA. Terrapin, maybe, actually. They're southern beers. Sweetwater's from Atlanta. I think Terrapin's from Georgia, too. New Glarus I've had. New Glarus is fine beer, but mostly You can only get it in Wisconsin. And so I live in Iowa, which is close to Wisconsin, as far as I know. It's still not great with Midwest geography. But I wouldn't drive to Wisconsin for it. Let's just say that. If I was in Wisconsin, I would gladly enjoy a spotted cow or something from Nebulous, but it's, it's fine. I think part of it is that you can only get it in Wisconsin, so it's like a culty thing. Like, I had to go to Wisconsin to get this. So you want to justify your trip by saying it was
like
great.
Like people come to PA for Yingling.
Yes, it's more like that. Nebulous is better than Yingling. Almost everything is better than Yingling.
Can you still read this if I tilt it more toward me?
The mic is in front of my face.
What's that?
The mic is protection in the way? Program. Look at my face. It's like behind the mic.
Oh.
Yeah. So the verdict on this here, Chrissy, is there we go. The verdict on this here, Chrissy, is it's very, very, very sour. It might be worth revisiting later when we've had a couple beers to make sure that it wasn't the Bud Light that was throwing off our palates. But it's
Wolfen's von Waffensberg. Thanks for $5 again, man. Thanks. I almost died listening to you pronounce this username. What's in the bowl? The bowl is my dinner. It's chicken, steamed vegetables, rice, quintana, something. It's brown, and stewed
quinoa.
Quinoa. I'd like the chicken fajitas, please.
Quintana.
None of your business. Hey, none of your business. Mr. R, you rant on potential not being cashed in is genius. I can't take credit for that. Where did that idea come from? I'll tell you where potential is wasted energy. Tom, you know where that's from?
Josiah Ward Gibbs.
No.
Helmholtz.
We both heard that.
Thermodynamics. What?
We heard that at Chapter Championships from Mr. Bots in 1996. He said potential is wasted energy.
Mr. Bots.
Like right before, it was like the like the championship before.
Chapters was Drumline, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Whatever.
Was it band or Drumline? Mr. B came along. Was it?
Marching band. And it was whatever big competition was before Giant Stadium. The last one before that. Lackawanna.
Oh, right. Okay. Potential is wasted energy.
Leave it all out there. Huh. You don't want to worry about what could have been. Anyway,
is that the actual Team Ryan just donated 200 rubles?
Yes.
Большое спасибо.
No question. Thanks for the show.
How much is a ruble? That's probably like $10 or something.
I don't know, man.
We're gonna get investigated by Robert Mueller.
I think when you donate money, you can donate whatever currency you want.
Sure.
I'll do that. Sure. You don't necessarily have to be there, although...
Quinoa, it makes you poop. Yeah.
I love it.
It's got a lot of protein, too, for a grain. It's good protein grain.
In the bowl, bitch.
So, yeah. Maybe worth revisiting Chrissy later, but she's really sour. Really super lemony, tart. And some people would find that refreshing, but it's like way on the high end of sour for me personally, and I like sours a lot. So, by the way they make it sour, well, there's a couple ways you can make a beer sour. You can use acidulated malt, which is just malt that has lactic acid added to it. You can add lactic acid bacteria to the mash before you boil it. And that's called a kettle sour, or you can add it, to the wort, boil it and kill all the bacteria, and then ferment with the yeast to get acidity. Or you can do it afterwards by fermenting in barrels or by inoculating with bacteria. Basically, bacteria are making this lactic acid. The kettle sour, which is the second way I said it, is kind of the easiest way to do it, because then you don't have bacteria floating around all the time. You just kill them every time when you boil the wort. So anyway, this is super sour. Probably not from the lemon. It's probably mostly from the acid, but it's all right. But it's, you know, pretty coming in pretty hot, sour wise. Okay, so speaking of sour, it's summer.
Yeah.
And like I said, most of these all these beers so far, Bud Light is like 4%. This is 4.2%. This is 4.9%. This is another East Coast beer. Mm-hmm. Sorry. But this one is an example of one that I've been drinking a lot. That's very refreshing and is also not super, super sour. It's got fruit in it. It's from Dogfish Head, which you may be familiar with from their 60, 90, 120 minute, or their all kinds of crazy beers that they do.
Simple question, Tom. I don't know what 120 IPA thing means.
Oh, this is a beers that they make called 60-minute IPA, 90-minute IPA, 120-minute IPA. It refers to the time of the boil, that the hops are in the boil.
Oh.
But anyway, so Dogfish is famous for that. They're also famous for being very experimental. They're one of the kind of the OG craft breweries, and so they go they usually go all out with weird stuff, and this one is no exception. It's called SeaQuench. It's also pretty much a goes, but it has salt and black limes. And black limes are limes that are aged or cured basically in barrels, and they sit there and they oxidize. So they're kind of like overripe limes. Anyway, so this is another citrus fruit beer. We had it Bud Light Orange, Chrissy was lemon, and then we have SeaQuench with black limes, which hopefully will not be nearly as sour.
Are you okay with me doing the people in the chat can't see this. I just arranged the menus so we can see everything at the same time. Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
But all we can see is the what do you call it in stage where you put a sticker something? Spike. There's
a spike down here that we put up. We're professionals.
So the beer goes at the same time. Question from Dan Dunlop. Hey, Mr. R, there is an AE82 Corolla FX16 GTS in my era for $1,600 with a lot of maintenance done. Do you think it's a deal worth jumping on? Yes, I do. Now, what you're going to want to do, Dan, is you're going to want to take that car to a mechanic you trust and ask for a pre-purchase inspection, because an AE82 Corolla FX16, that's a Toyota Corolla with a high revving. It's a Toyota Corolla with the same engine that was in my MR2. So it revs to 7,200 RPM. And it's in a little car about the size of your Volkswagen Fox that Tom used to drive around in high school and college, which I miss that car. It's totally a deal, but you're going to want to take that to a mechanic, get it up on the lift, and the mechanic's going to want to look at everything. Because if that's a collector car now, and if it's being let go for $1,600, there's something wrong with it, Dan. Now, if it's something replaceable, good. If it's got a leaky head gasket that the guy just dumped like marble mix, like dumped that Subaru stuff in to try to mask it, well, now you got a problem, man. John Regan, $10. Thanks so much, John. What's it going to take for you to come to... what do you think?
Ketchikan. Did you live in Alaska for like a year?
I lived in Alaska for 5 months. Oh. I lived in Igigik, out on the peninsula, and we also did some work in Alyeska and, of course, Los Anchorage. And review my regular cars. Yeah,
that's what they call it.
Some people call Anchorage Los Anchorage. It's our biggest city. It's, but from our perspective, it's about the size of the greater Harrisburg area.
Okay. Did you try this one yet?
City. I did not.
Okay.
And review my regular cars. RCR Alaska will happen. I'm coming back. Once you spend time in Alaska, you're never far away. It's just budget and everything. But because of Super Chat exists, all this money is going through our travel budget. In fact, I'm also making plans to come back to Austin. There's going to be Austin Part 2 with a meet. The last time we were in Austin, Texas, we didn't do. So I think we're either going to try to have the meet in San Marcos because it's easier to get stuff around there, or our fixer suggested doing it in the parking lot of Circuit of Americas. So it may be there too. Again, this is all hearsay. I've been just going back and forth with them and also a rep from On It. So the plan is to take their food truck around a racetrack and drive a food truck on a racetrack.
Nice.
M Beats throwing up the horns. Thanks. Being in SoCal, I'll take kind buds over beers, but cheers to y'all.
I lived in Colorado for 4 years, and marijuana is legal there, but I still drank a whole hell of a lot of beer. Still do. Turns out, living in Iowa, I live in Iowa now, and it's they're a little less forgiving about marijuana, turns out. Anyway, so what do you think of this beer? SeaQuench.
Can I be brutally honest?
Yeah.
It feels like your mom handed me a beer at a golf course.
I think that's good. I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah?
It says quench right in the name. It's like it should be a chugger. Like, all these should be chuggers. This one is Chrissy is way too sour to chug. That one is...
Bang Boy says, let's see who has the bigger calves. Beer is good, but what is the most reliable engine, and why is it the Toyota 22RE? Well, because the 22RE is like an AK-47. It has a lot of tolerances in that. You know, I think there's more. I think the 1Z, 1ZZ is as reliable. But you know what? I'm also going to... Thanks, Tom. I'm also going to say that the Honda D-Series engine, you've heard me talk wonders about the D-Series engine. I think that's one of the most reliable engines. Well, okay. A guy I know had a leaky valve cover gasket, but that isn't detrimental to the motor. Blah, 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 blah. You said Z. Yes, I said Z. Rubbed off from New Zealand.
Like ZZ Top. So yeah, what you said about being on the golf course, this is a golf course beer. It's good. It's a little expensive for a golf course beer.
Yeah.
Because it's Dogfish, but it's for swallowing in large amounts. And you'll notice on here it says session sour. And a session beer is generally a beer that's going to be lower in alcohol. I don't know if this is apocryphal or real, but I guess when you were working on at the factory or whatever, you'd have a break where you had a session. You could go to the pub and have a session at the pub. And so these beers were lower in alcohol, so you could drink a couple of them during this session.
Oh.
Again, could be apocryphal, could be totally false, but it's a good way to think about it. And so a session beer is going to be usually lower than 5%, so you can kind of slug a few back, and this one's the same way. Session IPA was a big trend in the last 2 years, where there were people who were kind of scaling back on I'm going to make the most gigantic IPA I can. And they kind of scale back to, now let's make an IPA that's like half that.
Yeah. When you say the biggest IPA you can, you mean serving it in that beer mug that looks like a something you'd use to drain oil out of an old car, or that oil can that you do to lube up the tin soldier, that thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
session. I have seen session abused for sure, Nebulous, but this one is 4.9. 4.9%. So,
Andrew Cathcart
drinking a Caesar from Canada. Do you know what a Caesar is?
No, I don't know what a Caesar is. And thank you for $2 Kanucky Stan.
A Caesar is a Bloody Mary, but instead of tomato juice, it's made with clamato, so it has clam juice in it. So you could have Mountain Dew or clam, no, crab juice.
Crab juice.
Instead of crab. But Caesar is made with clamato, so it has clam in it. It's like a Bloody Mary with clam juice.
Oh. Andrew, thanks for $5, Andrew. Andrew says, speaking of Austin, can't wait to see you again. Yeah, thanks. Glad you began having fun on the track. Yeah, right? You know, the BMW did a lot. Of course, the Buick Park Avenue was the best. My ingrained memory of Mr. R is shaking his hand before Brown. I'll take it.
Clay Kid, why are you drinking a Caesar at 10 p.m.? Or, I mean, if you're in Canada, could be 7. But
he could be in
is the Bloody
BC.
Mary like not a morning drink? I always get freaked out when I'm in a bar and somebody orders a Bloody Mary at like 8 o'clock. It's like, what are you doing, man? Did you just wake up? Like, I don't know. Everybody has a first beer
Burgundy
story.
Burnout's 22RE is the most reliable engine, but what is the most
It's the base
underrated
okay.
turbo engine, and why is it the 3800 Series 3? Oh yeah, right. Well, because anything with a GM 3800, with the exception of, you know, if it's the Buick engine, if there's a GM engine, they put it into stuff that people didn't care if it had a turbo or not. You know, a low pressure turbo isn't going to matter to people if they don't know it's there and don't know how to chip and tune it. Just ask Volkswagen. That's what they're doing now with the Jettas and everything. Little turbos integrated into the exhaust manifold, or rather the headers coming out the back, if you want to call that. And I'd say the most underrated turbo is either, what is it, the Suzuki Impulse? Or... yeah, I wanted to go the Ford Pinto 2.3, but everybody knows about those. Underrated turbo. That means it's good, but what do I like it when I see it? Like the turbo. Oh! They made a turbocharged Dodge Caravan. First gen one with a stick shift. A Caravan with a big old stick shift coming out the floor. That's the underrated turbo. Yeah. Yeah. Ford 7.3. Ugh, smog era.
So somebody wanted a first beer story, and I don't exactly remember what my first beer was. No, it was like a raspberry. It was a hard raspberry iced tea. But my first like getting drunk story is a good one. Did we tell that one on a regular beer reviews before?
No.
I don't know. Previous regular beer review podcasts are like 4 hours long, so it's not really clear what we've talked about and what we haven't. But the first time I ever got drunk was in Toronto, actually.
Yep. Yeah.
Not really. It was in Scarborough at a Howard Johnson. And it was with Matt and Brian and some of our other friends. And we went to Canada because we were 19. And, well, I was only 18. Don't tell anybody.
Didn't matter. We all got served.
They didn't seem to care. We were in Ontario, so it was 19. It's 18 in Quebec, or it was at the time. But anyway, we went to the beer store, and it was like...
I'm going to food. I'll be right back.
Yeah. It was like... oh. If you've ever been to Canada, the beer store is a really cool experience. You just kind of point to the case of beer you want on the wall, and then it comes out of this magical conveyor belt. It's pretty neat. But anyway, we got a bunch of beer at the beer store, and our friend Matt was like, well, we have to return these cans tomorrow so we can get more beer, so we have to finish the beer. And we were drinking Molson Canadian in Canada and Upper Canadian, something from them that was like a raspberry beer. Again with the raspberry, I don't know. I have a raspberry beer coming up here. That's a good segue. But we got completely housed, and I'd never ever been drunk before, but I drank 12 beers. It was not great. I said an act of contrition to the toilet before and after I puked on it. But then when I woke up, I was just fine. So I was like, wow, drinking is awesome. Right? Because I threw up the night before. If you threw up the night before, you know, this is... I have a PhD, but I'm not that kind of doctor. This is not a medical recommendation. Mm-hmm. But if you throw up the night before, you feel a lot better the next day than if you threw up the day after. Mm-hmm. If you're going to throw up, it should be the night before. Anyway, long story short, too late. The next day, we got completely hammered again, and I was hungover for the entire drive back from Toronto to Pittsburgh to our home, and it was not great, Bob. And I was like, I'm never drinking again. And 16 years later, here we are. But that was our story. In the Hojo in Scarborough, and there was a guy named Terry. Yeah, we did tell this story. We talked about Terry from Scarborough, who was telling us about the nude beach. Right?
I don't remember that bit.
There's a nude beach somewhere on like Lake Ontario that he was telling us about in the hot tub.
Huh.
Anyway. So I said raspberry C. Chef Sato, I'll get to your question in a second. Because I have a really great segue, which is that I loved raspberry beer as my first beer. Mm-hmm. And this is a raspberry. This is the last fruit beer, I promise. Yes, this is the last fruit beer. It's called Sparkleberry.
Well, okay, it's bedazzled.
It is bedazzled and bejazzled. This is great. Chef Sato, this is great because we did Sour Monkey last time, Quackman. If you want to look at the last regular beer reviews, we did review Sour Monkey. We did a couple sours already. We have a goes, and we have a wild ale coming, Chef Sato, so we'll talk about that then. Barrel aging, we have a barrel-aged wild ale and also a barrel-aged imperial stout.
Is that the
yes.
Impending?
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting to... I hope you don't save that for last
fruit
because
beers
we may
for cucks. Pedro, you're really going to like this one then. Mm-hmm. New England IPA, I have a New England style IPA from Iowa who was basically OGing it before there was New England IPA. So we'll get to those. Chef Sato.
Chef is asking, what's your bet on the next big beer trend? Cheers from a brewery underling.
Oh, that was not the question. I see. What am I seeing coming up? I don't know. I think there's already some New England IPA backlash against the Cloudy. It's kind of a cycle, right? You might see things going back to like, I don't know. This is total bullshit. Maybe a lot clearer. I have seen some beers that are like IPA should be clear or like make IPA clear again.
Yeah.
Is one. And I think that it will swing back. I think they'll continue to use specialty hops, but they'll swing it back to filtered and, more consumer friendly than chewy.
That was what I took away from 1787 Brewing. They were making approachable. Their IPA tasted... It was good, but it's an IPA. And the other stuff... they had this okay beer. That sounds bad. They have to keep
they're
their
new, right?
on. Yeah, they're playing to the crowd. Or, well, not the crowd.
They're probably still experimenting.
That is true. I mean, I'll go back. I'll definitely go back. We should go.
Okay.
It's
in Hamburg.
Yeah.
We can go before
We can go before, yeah.
That's a good plan.
I
like that plan.
We can walk. They're right there on the same block.
Oh, perfect. That's even better.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Workforce 520 says, speaking of grand caravans, I work with newer ones out of a rental company, and they're actually kind of fun to drive. Turbo would be even better. Dude, they're rental cars. Nothing's faster than a rental car.
I'm driving a rental caravan right now. I have 3 kids, and when we travel, we have to get a minivan. We have a Grand Caravan right now. I've been very impressed. The radio is a piece of shit because it's a rental car.
Yeah.
But like I couldn't connect my phone to it. Which
I know, right?
But it's like the basest model radio that you can get.
Here's the thing. I drive a 13-year-old Subaru. I bought a Kenwood head unit like it was 1999, and I need a better head unit for a car, like you did with the Fox.
Head unit.
Head unit. But you know what? This $100 head unit connects to my phone every single time. I don't have to do anything. and there's a little light on it that tells you it's connected. It does everything.
Von Waffenberg says, have you heard of Recorder Lake cider? Yes, I've had a couple of them. They're quite good. They're nice because they're not super, super sweet. And the ones I've had have been fruit ones. Fruit. Mm-hmm. You have to have jazz hands when you say that. But yeah, it's good. It's a good... it's not overpoweringly sweet. So if you want a cider that's not super sweet, like a Magners or another Irish style, yeah. Josh, what's up? We already reviewed Bud Light Orange, so I think that's about as low as we're gonna go. Professional review of Hams.
Vaughn, Hams.
Old style.
Hams. Oh no, Hams.
Oh, ham.
Oh no.
Oh, hams.
They sell ham pounders at the Rudders in Hamburg. Hams. Oh no, Hams. So okay, there's this ham story, and thank you, Von Von Waffensberg. Thanks for the $10, man. You're helping us travel. This is gonna be a heavy traveling year for RCR. I hope you like it. And Justin Kramer, who owns Catasauqua Auto Repair, has a ham story. They were putting a they were putting a Chevy 350 or building a Chevy 350 engine, and it started like in the afternoon, and they bought a 30 rack of hams. And it was like him and like 2 other people. But no, 3 people can finish a 30 rack. Wait, that's only 10 beers each and it's ham. Well, it still is a bit.
It's a lot of hams to drink. It's a lot of like headache, especially if you're day drinking. Like when 8:30 rolls around, you're gonna be feeling those 10 hams. But
they said they woke up the next day and came out to the engine, and the headers and exhaust was on backwards. It's like, oh no.
So just basically Don Drapered it.
Yeah.
There's this one episode of Mad Men where Don Draper's building like a clubhouse for Bobby Draper.
Yeah.
And he just opens a beer and like gets out the directions, and it just shows him drinking like 5-6 beers while he's drinking, just like totally fucking it up. So this beer is called Sparkleberry.
Oh yeah.
It was I'm not trying to below it that much, but Sparkleberry was released in I think it was 2013 for Kalamazoo Pride. This is Bell's, by the way. Bell's is in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So we're moving into Midwestern beers here. It was released for Pride Month, which explains why it's bedazzled. Mm-hmm. But it's a raspberry Belgian ale. So the previous ones, these have been light. It goes a light lager, another goes. This is a Belgian triple, so it's 8%. But it's got raspberries in it.
If this beer were a song, it would be that song that goes, I can't even sing it. Need somebody to lean on. Oh,
that one.
Yeah. You know, it's the song you play to get people warmed up for spin class.
Yeah, I know what you mean now.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because you're getting ready for spin class when you're. No, I didn't drink this beer before spin class. This is
White Girl Wasted.
White Girl Wasted. Yeah, it is.
Workforce 520 says, "Thanks for $5. Grand Caravan has rental Bluetooth, but it's all voice activated by a button. Yeah. The Chrysler Pacifica is a major step up with the Trypan moonroof. Chrysler Pacifica, I don't like that car, and I hate everything it stands for, and it popularized the crossovers, and I just want to kick that car and its car dick."
Didn't the hybrids get recalled or something too?
I don't know.
I was looking for a hybrid. Well, so we the 3 kids, and we basically only stay in our very small town, so I was looking for a hybrid for that reason, and I think they recalled a bunch of Pacifica hybrids, so we were like, well, not
you
getting
don't
that.
You don't want anything FCA. You did the right move by getting a Toyota.
So I ended up getting a Toyota Highlander hybrid.
Good choice. Will Robinson, thanks for $2, Will. I see you almost every time.
Thoughts on Kafka's Metamorphosis? You can talk to the guy with 2 master's degrees in English. about that.
Gosh, what are the secondary sources of that novel? Was that before or after the Bolshevik Revolution? And I think it was about that.
It's Kafkaesque.
Yeah.
You ask me.
I don't have the ability to give thoughts on on Metamorphosis right now. If you have a TF fetish, that's where it begins for you. Although there's no dicks in that book, so I don't know. You're going to have to use your imagination. Thanks, Will.
What is TF?
It's a transformation fetish.
Oh, transformation.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
That's a thing. Well, everything. Rule 34.
Sure. I thought it had something to do with insects, right? But in the book, it doesn't say what kind of... It just says, like, the translation of it is that he's, like, some kind of... Everyone kind of thinks of it as, like, a cockroach.
Yeah.
Right? And some translations are like that. But in the original, the word is more like...
Really?
Creature or monster or something. So it's never really... I could be remembering this wrong, but I think it's never really explained that he is a cockroach. It's just one of those things. Kind of like the apple being the forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't an apple.
Yeah.
Also, the Bible's probably not real.
Yeah.
But, everybody says, it's an apple. Here, have this apple. Why would it be an apple? It's more likely, like, if it's Mediterranean sort of region, it's probably pomegranate, is what people generally say.
Yeah.
It is. But it's one of those things like, oh, he's a cockroach. Because that's what
that's
one
something
translation
that's disgusting
did.
and universally reviled. Von Wolfensberg, 24.99. Thanks you, man.
Phoenix.
Nice good chunks. Phoenix, how much money? But the roller coaster? How much money do I need to shove in this thing to make it happen? Oh, RCR Phoenix. To make it happen. Love RCR. So fancy. Well, we're going to meet the OG Mr. Fancy. Who is real name Mike Steinberg from Chicago for RCR Chicago. So that guy, So Fancy is not my line. It was started in a Vine, and I miss Vine. It was about the original So Fancy came from a Vine where he dailied like a C-Series Mercedes and said what people think of a Mercedes. Oh, so fancy. And what it's really like is maintenance bills. It's up in the air. It's the idea of us saying fuck you to the Pennsylvania winter. And like March when it's like, look, it's spring,
it's 1,000 degrees.
Yeah, let's go to Phoenix or Vegas or something like that. Thanks so much. You're helping us get there. Thanks, man. Michael Grenick, thanks for $5, man. Hey, just tuned in. Well, we got plenty more to go. You talked about, I think this is a question for Tom.
Delirium treatments. Yeah, the one with the elephant. That's fine. It's very good. It's a great example of sort of Belgian strong. This is a Belgian style ale. Great segue. Thank you for that. The Sparkleberry is a triple from Belgian style yeast.
It gets better when I swish it.
And triples are usually around 8%. Delirium treatments is Duvel's little brother. That makes sense. But they don't. Do they own does Duvel own that brand as well?
Oh no!
I know Duvel. I know Duvel owns Ommegang. Or they're owned by the same thing anyway. Anyway, it's a good beer, and Nocturnum is also very good. Disco King. Okay. Anyway, so this beer. Let's talk about the beer. This is. I mean, you can see that color. That did you use your screen?
Oh yeah. Let me turn off Flux.
So it's kind of a nice deep red color because of the raspberries. Oh, there you go. Still can't really see it. I need my BJCP flashlight so I can flash behind here and show you. But it's a really cool deep red color. It's not just pink. It's like almost a winey kind of.
Close your eyes, Tom.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Ooh.
Oh, that is a lower setting.
That's a little.
There we go.
Yeah, that's not really accurate, but
Yeah.
it looks like a really pale red wine or really dark rosé. Anyway, it's got a little. This I think is
look at that.
It's very bright.
That's a
This is a good example.
That's a Snap-on shop light.
Oh, there you go. It's a good example of fruit beer because, yes, it's like Burgundy. It's like Pinot Noir, Burgundy burnouts. And it's a good example of what to do, a good way to do a fruit beer, which is not for it to be fruit. It's like, more so, it's not super sweet. In fact, it has like a kind of a dry, almost bitter finish. So they probably added the raspberries during fermentation rather than sort of after. They don't say on the can what they did, but I like it because it's not super in your face with the fruit. I mean, it's certainly raspberry-y, but it's not like a raspberry, raspberry shandy or something where it's like super sweet. I don't know where I was going with ginger there.
Sound a little Midwest there. Shandy.
I do live in Iowa. Oh my gosh, get me a shandy. Or a Radler.
Michael Grenick, thanks for $5, man. Just tuned in. Have you? We just talked about you. Lee Gray Auto Reviews. Thanks for $5, Lee, or $4.99. Hey, Mr. Regular, don't know if you really do aircraft apart from the Piper. Well, we did a sailplane, and I threw up in it. But would you ever be interested in doing a Cessna 206? It's a Cessna wagon. I would be interested in doing a Cessna 206 as long as Tony Airlines can come with us.
Cessna wagon.
I have no idea what a Cessna 206
is. Is it a hatchback?
I guess it's like.
Does it like what?
The biggest Cessna I've ever was in was a Cessna 182. So a Cessna 206 is even larger than that. A Cessna 82 is big enough to tow a glider behind it.
Okay.
So a Cessna 206 would probably be, what's a big wagon? Like a Ford LTD of the sky. Which doesn't mean it's fast.
The Ford wagon, LTD wagon of the sky.
Thanks, Lee.
A lot of people do gliders in Boulder. Almost every day when I was walking to work when I lived in Boulder, you could see somebody gliding, at least in the summer, obviously, when it was nice. There's a lot. I guess there's a lot of updraft because like there's the foothills right there, so there's probably a lot of like. I don't know. You're the plane guy. Updrafts.
I don't know. I know thermals happen over highways, but that's just warm air rising.
Yeah. Well, when you're right in the foothills, a lot of air will roll down, and it causes this unique sort of weather patterns. It gets very windy. Like if the temperature changes really fast, you get a lot of wind.
Lee Gary Auto Reviews, $2.99. Thanks. If
I could.
Effectively, it's a stretched 182 with a 240 horsepower flat six. Sounds like it would do it. I wonder why more airplanes aren't turbocharged. I mean, they do make them. I mean, the P-51 and all the warplanes were. Zephyr Silver, thanks for $4.99, man. Are we ever going to get a peak Pennsylvanian accent mannerisms? Oh, we attempted to do a podcast or
I think one of these turned into that.
Yeah.
Where
that I don't know. I'd have to pay. I'd have to give a manuscript to Tom, pay him for his time to be able to translate it into. See, there's so many accents within Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but there is a cull crack.
Yeah.
There's a. I mean, in fact, the first RCR or RBR, first regular beer reviews was in my basement, or was it here?
I think we tried to do it there, but it was kind of hard to.
Oh right. Well, whatever. Yeah. So when
it was kind of hard to keep the
Regular,
accent
and I had initially envisioned being a guy named Frackville Joe.
Yeah.
And Frackville Joe. Frackville Joe is going to introduce the beers. And ask is, have you had that?
You
Who's ever had that? Bud Light Orange.
Yo, that's good, ain't
that sick. Sean Brewer says, last podcast I made a joke that referenced the horse head in the bed scene from Godfather. Totally whenever you had.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry, Sean.
You know what he's talking about, right?
I never saw the movie, but I know the scene.
Yeah. You never saw The Godfather?
I never saw The Godfather.
It's pretty good. I mean, don't let people overhype it, right?
Yeah. How's Tom's levels? I keep moving his mic around.
I tend to mumble.
Let me know.
So we be drinking.
GMF body is best GMF body. True. Notice me, senpai. I lived in Parksburg, like Parksburg, PA. I think that's where Neil Roberts lives. Who we will be doing his Honda Ruckus soon. So we'll finally get an RCR with a Honda Ruckus.
So Sparkleberry is the last fruit beer. To recap the fruit beers that we did. Where is Bud Light Orange? Oh,
Eric McFadden's in regards to the coal cracker accent says that's quite a Canuck accent.
Yeah, you know, I live in the Midwest, and I think sometimes my accents bleed together. If you take the Midwest accent and flatten out the A's even more and apologize a lot, then you become Canadian. Flatten your O's. Like Minnesota is getting there. So I apologize for that. I apologize for confusing my regions. We had Bud Light Orange, which is not good. Which is save the money.
Yeah.
Get yourself Bush Light and mix it with Sunkissed, and you will have Bud Light Orange. Then we did Chrissy.
Are you getting a little bit cold? Because I think I'm gonna turn off the fan.
I mean, I'm okay, but if you're cold,
okay.
We had Chrissy, which is a lemon goza from SingleCut in New York. That was super tart and very, very lemony. Oh, and it's still very tart. I was giving it the benefit of the doubt because we had it after the Bud Light Orange, but ooh. Chrissy. Wow. That is too tart for me. It does have a nice little weedy kind of finish, though, which is nice. But the attack is just smack you in the face with a lemon. This one, it was my favorite fruit beer. It's Dogfish SeaQuench. It's made with lime juice and black limes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Love that. Wisconsin accent.
Lee Gray auto reviews. Thanks for $2, man. My 206 is best Buick Roadmaster. All right, if I was accurate with describing your Cessna 206, then yeah, awesome.
It's the Buick Roadmaster of the sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Buick Roadmaster looks kind of like Family Truckster from National Lampoon's Road Trip Vacation, something. That's the style of station wagon you're going for with that.
Sebastian says, greetings from Reading in Berks County. Not too far from here. So SeaQuench was good because it's limey and it's not super sour. It's very well balanced and it's a good chugger. I recommend it highly. Brian said it was like a beer that my mom would give him on the golf course, and I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
So, and the last fruit beer was Sparkleberry from Bell's. And that was, well, it's 8%, so it's not really a chugger, but it's best hot weather wrenching on cars beer.
All right, so a wrenching on cars beer, thanks for $2, man, is going to be a lawnmower beer. So it's going to be you're going to want something crisp, but if it's a hot weather, you're going to want a light beer that still tastes good if it's not cold.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
We used to have a rule on the golf course that if there was any gold on the label at all, then you had to finish it before it got warm, or else it was going to be terrible. Examples include Miller High Life, Coors Banquet Beer,
What's Coors?
Coors Extra Gold.
Shit.
If it has gold on the label, you have to finish it before it gets warm. Otherwise, it's crap. Like Miller High Life in a can, warm Miller High Life in a can is disgusting. It's gross.
So, I mean, my favorite easy drinking thing also comes from Troegs. It's their summertime pills.
Oh, that's a good one.
But I don't know what it's like warm. So I suppose it'd be better.
Cold can stay cold. Stay gold, pony boy. Yeah, summertime pills is great. I mean, Troegs is awesome. And I'm glad they're getting more distro. I picked this up at the local, the one that's right by my house. It's oddly priced at $12.26.
Really, Tom? You paid?
For some reason. And
well,
it costs...
Thanks for getting this, Tom.
Oh, yeah, that's not the most expensive one. It costs that much because it's been aged in a barrel for a long time. Specifically... So this is a wild ale. So we're off the fruit beers. There's no more fruit. This is a wild ale. And it is... What that means is that they have... They have kind of made the wort, and it started out sterile, and then they just kind of let it sit, right, and whatever was around to kind of inoculate it. Now they may have inoculated with some wild stuff. It says yeast Lagrave, so they probably did inoculate with Lagrave yeast eventually. If you want to be truly wild, you'd get what's called a cool ship, which is kind of like a big shallow swimming pool. And you just let whatever yeast and bacteria that are around come in, and those things will make funky aromas and a lot of acidity. And so things like a lambic or a goose are like that, are totally wild fermentations. I really doubt that this was the case with this one, but you never know. We'll see. In fact, the fact they says what kind of yeast it is means they probably did inoculate it, obviously. But afterwards, after they brew it, they basically let it sit in barrels, and in the barrel, those bacteria will start to get to work. And the bacteria of interest here are... Can you focus? Not going to focus. Well, right here, if you could see it, it would say Brett, Lacto, and Pedio. Brettanomyces is a yeast that makes kind of funky, smoky barbecue, Band-Aid, medicine aroma. That's probably not going to do it. All right, there he goes. Brett, Lacto, Pedio. So Brett is a yeast. It's a wild yeast, generally undesirable in beers that are not specifically made for that style. Lactobacillus is a lactic acid bacterium that makes lactic acid, which sours it up. And Pediococcus is also a lactic acid bacteria. It makes a kind of a certain kind of foot funk. So it's gonna be funky. So what they do is they brew this beer, they put it in oak barrels for a long time.
Good night, Kaya Kid 7117
for the Falcon.
You're going to bed. Thanks, man.
Thank you for your Canadian dollars.
Thank you.
Enjoy your poutine and Caesar-induced sleep. If I had a poutine and a Caesar, I'd probably fall asleep too. Also, it's Thursday, and normal people have jobs that they have to go to.
We are doing this prime time in the middle of the week. But hello to everybody from the West Coast.
So they age in these barrels, and then these little beasties go to work, and they start making these funky aromas and stuff. I've never had this beer, have not vetted it. It could blow up in my face, but it's Troegs, so I have confidence in them. So let's see how this goes. It starts. The base beer is a triple, which is called, or a Belgian Golden, called Lagrave. If you've ever had the Troegs.
Get a hold of that beer that uses porn stars yeast. Oh, okay.
Actually, the vagina has a lot of lactic acid bacteria in there as well. So, in fact, if your microbiome down there is healthy, then you basically have bacteria create enough lactic acid to keep most pathogens out of there. It's when it gets disrupted that you get things like yeast infections and whatnot. Again, not that kind of doctor. Never had a yeast infection, but all right. So this is Nebulous Wild Ale. I'm sure they probably force carbonate it after fermenting for a while in order to get the bubbles in there, because it's not gonna hold it. Maybe it's cork and cage, so maybe they secondary in barrel or in the bottle. I mean, yeah, maybe they do that too. I don't know. I don't see very much stuff down there. Anyway, so this is a very light kind of almost smells like a Chardonnay, because it's because it's been barrel aged in oak, French, American, and Hungarian oak barrels. It kind of smells like wine, and it's sort of sour like wine too. Oh, that's fun.
None your business. Thanks for $5, man. Hey, Mr. R. Ray Maglazani.
Magliazzi.
Damn it, man.
The guy from Car Talk.
Yeah. Is still active. Any chance you might hook up with him and review an old Fiat? I am bad with people of note, and I'm like, look, you're doing your own thing. I don't want to bother you. Even if I met the guy, I'm like, do you like cars? Yeah. I would be to him what people are to me who like repeat my jokes back to me to my face. Yeah, thanks. I was around when I wrote that.
Well, I mean, Car Talk made a living out of laughing at their own jokes, though.
Yeah.
So,
but
it was more Tom that laughed at the most than laughing.
Really? I heard this rumor, and this is from I believe Mike Regensberger, my own boss at Kusan University Radio, who said that first of all the calls that they had were vetted, or toward the later seasons, like the people who called in the Car Talk weren't talking to Tom and Ray, or they were, but not on air. And then they record that conversation and then play it back. Because you notice they never get weird calls. They never get people who just baba booey, and then hang up.
Well, isn't that just good radio practice?
Yeah, but you can still get through. Like if you had somebody with,
or if you just behave normally and then you
baba booey, and then you freak out,
farted on the microphone. Yeah.
They never had that, and also that sometimes they had in post, like that show wasn't live, and it was pre-recorded earlier, and then when they put it out, they would layer in more laughing from themselves.
Well, that would explain why there's so much laughing. I don't know. Frankly, I don't think it really matters. Tom, thoughts on Wisconsin beers? I recommend Capital, Central Waters. Oso's I've not had. Capital and Central Waters I've had. Ale Asylum and Lakefront. I'm going to Madison for a conference in... Oh my gosh. I'm going to Madison for a conference in July. Sorry. So if any of those are available there, I'll be sure to check them out. Some of them are probably in Madison.
Sadly, gotta go. Love the channel and keep doing what you're doing. Thanks from LA. Thanks, man.
So this is what the Nebulous looks like. The lighting here isn't doing this justice. It's quite light. Not quite a yellow on the SRM scale, but it's like kind of between a yellow and a lighter amber. And some of that probably comes from the oxidation in the barrel.
I
hit
bumped the camera.
We wrecked our spike. We're gonna have to move our furry ska sticker.
Hop. Now it's time for Fatty's big chance.
A Beer Advocate user. I don't use Beer Advocate, no. Just because they do Untapped, and that's enough. I have a hard enough time keeping up with all the beers that I drink on Untapped. So going on a Beer Advocate and being like, I poured this into a 10-ounce snifter from about 6 inches up, and I noticed that the foam was approximately there for 45 seconds.
Is this for real?
Some Beer Advocate reviews are like, just need an editor, right? Like, they just go,
it has been brought...
bloobity blue. It's like all this stuff, and it's like, what? Did you like the beer or not, man? How many IBUs is too many IBUs? Italy Horse 45. There is a threshold for which you can't detect anymore, and I think it's around 100 or 120. So Mikkeller, is it Mikkeller? Probably just as a gag, made 1,000 IBU beer. I think it was Mikkeller. I don't recall at the moment. But you're not going to taste that beyond. It just saturates your taste buds. So 100 is too many IBUs, basically, because that's where most people max out. There is 1,000 IBU IPA. You can look it up. What do you think of that?
This is my face.
That's a good face.
This is my Nebulous face.
It's not like any of the beers we had so far. It's not sour, actually, at all. It's a little. I mean, it's a little, but nothing like Chrissy or the ones that are supposed to be super sour.
It reminds me of Chapter House.
Because Chapter House smelled like stale old beer. Chapter House was a great bar in Ithaca, New York. That had, maybe 50 beers on tap. It was
such a good name for a bar.
It was awesome. It burned down. I went there. I had a job interview at Cornell. I went there on a Saturday, and it burned down on like a Monday. I don't think I did it. But I was there like 2 days before it burned down, and the bartender was like, "Hey, come here," because I was there with actually a guy who was like a major regular. He goes, "Hey, check it out. I got KBS on this tap. Don't tell anybody. This is Founder's Kentucky Breakfast Stout. I got KBS on this tap. I'll hook you up." I was like, "Awesome." And I enjoyed it, and it was great, and the place burned down. I went to Cornell for graduate school, so I'd been there quite a bit. Anyway, but it was like a dive bar. It had like a lot of good beer, but like it was a lot of spilling going on too. So it kind of smelled like stale beer. So I totally see what you're going for with it smells like a brewery, right? It has this like kind of stale beer smell. It makes sense, right?
Adam William, thanks for $5, Adam. While you're in Chicago, I suggest taking an extra day and making the 2.5-hour drive to Grand Rapids. Revolution Brewing,
Michigan?
Tampoon, the city is fun too. I'd love to see Grand Rapids. I don't know like how we would get there and back. Like, we're gonna stay within the Schaumburg and Chicago area for RCR Chicago next month. Jared Emmett, thanks for $5, Jared. I'm 16 and I don't make much, but oh man, you don't have to give me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Turbotville.
I wanted to say
over
hi
here somewhere, right?
Turbo Titville.
Turbotville.
Turbotville, PA.
Is that the Philly area?
Ever heard of a 1989 Subaru RX Turbo? No. I think I should.
Turretville's in Northumberland County. I was at Knoebels today. I probably drove by your house.
Oh.
Which is probably not near Knoebels. But it was in Northumberland County today. Oh,
damn,
yeah.
Tom,
No,
this is really good.
I was nowhere near it.
I like this a lot.
Northumberland County is pretty big.
Memories.
Eric Hunsaker. Oh my God! Just get back to reviewing the beer.
Is that Eric? Oh my God.
Nice,
dude. Eric, awesome. What's happening, man?
Eric was there for the Toronto trip.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
TW33K. Thanks for the 2,000 yen. I think that's yen.
2,000 yen. That's like $2.
Awesome. Hey, Mr. Regular, I've been watching since...
Or 20. No, 2.
I've been watching since the 1994 Dodge Caravan, which was my dad's. I was the old S fan. I love all your videos. For someone who doesn't like beer that much, but loves hard cider, hey, Bellwether beer, Bellwether in what lake?
Yeah, Finger Lakes. That's hard cider.
What
right?
do you recommend? Well, I recommend Bellwether, as in, like, I had some like holiday cider. I forget what it was. It's like, here, have some holiday cheer, and I taste it, and well, it was like that. It was like that Bud Orange thing, stuff that didn't do anything.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was 100 yen was $1. Whatever. Thank you. What do you like? If you like hard cider beer and like beer, there's some beers that are kind of transitional like that. Also, there's maybe to kind of break you into beer, instead of going straight into beer, you go into the one thing that someone's asking before about new beer trends. The thing now is hard seltzer.
Oh,
like White Claw, and
tell me about this. I never heard of this.
It's like LaCroix with booze in it.
Okay.
So it's flavored. It's like a malt. I guess it's malt based.
Did you see that one family?
But it's not like Smirnoff Ice. It's not like.
Oh, okay.
It's not like Smirnoff Ice. It's not sugary. It's just like a seltzer kind of, and that is a thing that is really catching on. Not hard soda, not Henry's Orange root beer. It's just seltzer, and just lightly flavored. And it's very refreshing, actually.
What?
It's like the Crystal Pepsi of beer. So you put on Van Halen, and you pop open a can. Panama. No, it's right now was the Crystal Pepsi, like the Crystal Pepsi commercial.
Oh, right now.
Hey, it's your tomorrow.
Right now. Michael
Truly,
Garnick
White
says,
Claw. Not malt because it's gluten
with
free.
that last burp, you are now Mr. Rick.
Thank you.
Yeah, I am.
Jillian Sheridan has been great. I'm trying to sleep, cucks. White Claw is gluten free. Okay, so then where do they get the booze from? Well, it could be distilled. Distilled wouldn't have the gluten carryover, right? So it could be distilled from whatever. Clearly Canadian with alcohol. That's a great analogy. Anyway, back to this beer so Eric doesn't get mad. This is Nebulous from Troegs. It's called Pennsylvania Wild Ale. It's aged in oak barrels. It says bottled in 2017, so it's been in the bottle for a little bit too. And they don't say how long. Oh, they have fooders.
What's that?
I didn't know Troegs had fooders.
What's fooders?
That's cool. A fooder is a big-ass wooden tank. It's like a giant barrel.
Okay.
And so these things get conditioned with, you brew a couple beers in there, you let them sit, and the bacteria and the yeast kind of start growing in the nooks and crannies of the barrel. Mm-hmm. Hard seltzer is disgusting. It's very refreshing, Eric. You should try it. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's for somebody who likes cider and doesn't like beer. That might be a way to kind of reset your palate.
What I keep thinking of that one Family Guy bit where it's like, do you want to drink beer, but you don't like drinking a lot of beer? Well, try new vodka beer. It's like the can says beer, but inside is 12 ounces of carbonated vodka. Adam William, or None of Your Business really says good. Pat Kid poured curd pulled cod.
Pat Kid poured cold pulled cod. Nope, not even close. Pat Kid poured curd pulled cod. Pat Kid poured curd pulled cod.
Port cord.
Get a soda stream and a bottle of Kamchatka. I think that would wreck the soda stream. I have tried carbonating other things besides water in the soda stream. It does not work. Really? Anything besides water just nucleates things like crazy. And it's... Whew, you get a lot of...
Burgundy Burnouts is out for the night. Alrighty, I'm out for the night. Good night, guys. Have fun. Drink and meat spin responsibly. I will do. Well, Adam William, thanks for the $2, Adam. You both would love Founders Porch in summer.
Fortunes. I don't know if I've had that. There's Founders has a lager right now called Solid Gold. That's good. Why would you not drink Rolling Rock? As Jillian Schneider pointed out, it's gluten free. So if you don't think that gluten is a thing that you like, then you can drink that. I don't know.
Where does the dingo lie on Monday, Tuesday from Camera Bird? Thanks for $2, man.
Where does a dingo lie on Monday, Tuesday?
I'm not sure where the joke is, if it is a joke or not.
Australian
I like
humor.
it, but thanks for $2, man.
Maybe I'm assuming it's Australian because it says dingo. Dingo lie.
I can't drink any more Nebulous because I already know I am swimming in my head.
And I'm going to drink it. It's great. You should get this.
I like it. I like it a lot, but
it's not really sour. It's very it's got a lot of layers to it. It's pretty complex. It's
Tom, I have to pee.
Go pee. When I knocked on the door to get here, I was in the bathroom and I just heard urination. Like what?
In the bathroom.
What if I was someone else? What if I was like the UPS guy? Where you left him on Sunday. Yeah. Not a beer. Guys, a lot of people are asking about Wisconsin beers. Are you all from Wisconsin or something? They're fine. Central Waters actually has made some beers that have surprised me pleasantly. It comes out of me. Grand Rapids has a sweet porch. Oh! He was actually talking about the porch. Cool. If I ever get to Grand Rapids, I'll have to do that. I do like Founders for sure. Back to this beer. You should get it. It's $12.26 at Country Beverage. Or it's I'm sure they might have it at the brewery too. I don't know. But it's oak aged. It's got a funk to it. Could you actually hear him? Could you hear him peeing? Good. Yeah. The door's... you left the door open, that's why. I can hear the hot yellow. Von Voffenberg says, I just bought him drinking Bud Light with Clamato. My truck stop single serve selection is lacking for sure. Well, there you go. It's not bad. We don't have one of those right now. But the Michelada, I mean, it's not nearly as bad as it... You should get this Nebulous though. It's fantastic. If I had any complaints, it would be that it's a little bit fizzy, actually. So it kind of is like a little light in the mouthfeel, but you don't carbonate vodka directly. Yeah, cranberry juice will do the same thing. Yes, just add vodka to soda. Yeah, people have been doing that for a long time. Okay, so
Von Wolfsburg, thanks for $5, man. I just bought and I'm drinking a Bud Light with Clamato.
Yingling Lager is a good cheap beer. What is the best? So the question out here is, I already read that one. The question out here was, what's the best cheap beer? Now, this beer is not cheap. It's $12.26 for some fucking reason.
Subaru Outback Sedan, official car of Mineral? Subaru Outback Sedan, official car of Mineral. Well...
Need more minerals.
What's that from?
StarCraft. Chen used to play that all the time. My freshman year roommate. Need more minerals. Oh, straight like it.
Chen. China equals Chen. Chen equals stupid. Therefore, David, thanks for $2, man. Subaru Outback Sedan, official car of Mineral.
Feature beer, Coors Italdi beer. Coors Italdi beer.
So I'm talking about Aldi in the chat.
Should sell beer. If Trader Joe's made beer, it would probably be a good cheap beer because they do the $2 chuck thing, And $2 Chuck is not as bad as many $10 wines I've had. Although I think it's now $3 Chuck. Best cheap beer is the coldest one. We were talking about that. Actually, my go-to beer, if I want a cheap beer, if I'm going to have a party or something, I need people to knock beers back. Miller High Life in the champagne bottle. It's the shape of the bottle, I think, that like vortexes the beer straight down your throat. And High Life is about 6%. So it's a little higher up than Bud Heavy. It'll get you there fast. It's cheap. Miller High Life, the champagne of beers.
Is Miller High Life cheaper than Miller Lite?
Yes. It's $10. It's $9. Well, depending where you are. It's like $9 for a 12-pack of champagne bottles. Miller Lite is in very high demand because people buy it. Oh, what was that beer that I got at Stewart's? There was a Stewart's, and it was called Mountain Ice. We were driving back to New York, and there was a Stewart's, which is like it's a root beer thing, and it's a convenience store. Not that one, not Eric Stewart's. There's one that's like a convenience store, and I got it was $2 for this big pounder can of Mountain Ice, and it was 8%, and it was not good at all. But it was only $2. So the question is like, how do you figure what is the cheap part? Do you divide the quality by the price? And if in that case,
Thunderbird,
right? Like, there's a lot of beer that's mostly free.
The OE.
PBR. PBR gives me this like piney thing that I really don't like.
PBR has corn syrup in it.
I hate to tell you this, but so does Yingling and Bud.
Man.
Yingling is mostly corn. In fact, if you're gonna call Yingling a lager, it should be like a Mexican lager or like a Vienna lager.
Really?
Because it's mostly corn. There's a little rice in there. There's barely any barley. That's why it's so light. That's why you can just fire it back, right? There's very little barley. And not little, but it's there. But when you use adjuncts like that, when you use corn and rice, you get a lighter beer because they are basically just sugar waiting to happen, right?
Yeah.
When you cook them, they become sugar. When you take corn and cook it, it's really sweet, right? Rice is just starch, and it'll get broken down by the amylases. The barley and stuff, is the grain that most beer is made out of, has a lot of leftover large chains of oligosaccharides and polysaccharides that will just kind of hang out, and they give body to the beer. They still taste a little sweet, but they're not fermentable by the yeast. So they hang out and they don't go anywhere. Quit using... they hang out and they don't go anywhere, so they add body to the beer, and they add a little sweetness, and they make you fart. Because the bacteria in your gut can eat them. Which is why when you go to GABF and you're trying to leave, if you go to the Great American Beer Festival, or basically any beer festival that's indoors, and everyone's trying to leave, you just stand in a cloud of farts for an hour because everyone's trying to get out and farting because they've been drinking beer for 2 hours.
Ever tried anything from Perrin Brewing, says Adam William. Thanks for $2, Adam.
I'll have to check out the old Untapped. Figure that one out.
David, thanks for $2, David. David, you said Taking Back Sunday. It's actually mineral. Again, I think it's a joke that
it's
I'm
from
missing.
the Subaru Outback Sedan review.
So,
maybe.
Okay, Subaru Outback Sedan from the 90s. 90s equals ska. Taking Back Sunday equals ska.
Didn't Take Back Sunday like emo?
Oh, it is?
I don't know.
Oh.
Perrin Brewing. This logo does not look familiar to me. Perrin Brewing is a craft brewer in Michigan. I don't think I've ever had one.
What is the line between beer and Colt 45? Well, Colt 45 is a malt liquor, not a beer. Although it's fizzy and it's yellow.
Malt liquor is more or less a beer, right? It's just Shorts is very good, Eric McFadden. Malt liquor is just try and put as much malt and adjuncts as you can to raise the alcohol level. Right? But when you do that and you ferment it, it throws off a lot more fusel alcohol because of the high stress and the fermentation temperature. It throws off a lot of these alcohols that are not good, like butanol and things that are not ethanol. They're not going to get you drunk.
Oh.
But do give you a headache. So fusel alcohol, fusel means rot gut in German, basically. So malt liquor is full of fusel alcohols because of the fermentation conditions. But it's still beer. I mean, it's jacked up beer, basically. I wouldn't call a malt liquor not a beer. What's the best malt liquor? Mickey's.
Said
I would say Mickey's.
Keenan McCallan. Thanks for $2, Keenan. Or Keegan. Cheap 40-ounce malt liquor.
I like Mickey's grenades, but a Mickey's 40 is not bad in a pinch. It'll get you there. But like I said,
when I used to live in Lansdale, Pennsylvania, on Fridays, I would go to this one. There was a Taco Bell right across from this pizza shop that I didn't care about the pizzas they made, but they did have takeout, and it was pizza. It was 40s and Taco Bell on Friday night for me. That was my... Well, I was 25. I was living in the smell house.
Smell. Sorry. I just bumped the mic.
Oh, these mics are great. They're not going to do anything. And I would drink the OE and eat chalupas.
I transport ethanol.
I feel like shit.
I'm transporting ethanol right now into my belly and out of me via my kidneys.
Will Robinson.
My nephrons.
Will Robinson, thanks for $10, man. Favorite ski lift brand? Do I have an opinion on the ski lifts? Yan, the company that made the scary mammoth chairlift you talked about on the Smoking Tire podcast, went bankrupt after lots of injuries and death on their lifts in the 90s. Yeah, I wonder why. Because they don't even have a safety bar on those things. You're just getting on a chair, like this futon I'm sitting on, and you're 30 feet in the air, and just swaying above the rocks in Mammoth Lakes, California. You know, a hardy Uncle Bob's back slap will just send you face first into Mother Stone. Yeah, favorite ski lift brand. The ones with that don't break.
I like your ski lift story about the guy that was like, use a condom. Wear a fucking condom.
Wear a fucking condom. That's how he said it. I don't have a cigarette. You'd have to put the cigarette in your mouth because he did that cigarette thing. The cigarette is barely in his mouth. It's on the very end of it, so his lips can still form words. Let me tell you, we're a fucking condom.
Have you tried running Kessler's whiskey through a Brita filter? No. But Jack Daniel's Tennessee style whiskey is charcoal filtered before they put it in a barrel. So it actually is like putting it through a Brita before it gets barreled. And that's part of their kind of filtering, their smoothening process. Or is it before or after? At one point is charcoal filtered, which is what a Brita filter is, basically activated carbon. Same thing. I've seen people do this with vodka too. They put it through
what's
the
up
Brita.
with that thing?
The idea is that it would remove congeners. Like congeners are things that are bad for you. They're anything in booze that's not, like in vodka, for example.
Yeah. The
perfect vodka would be 40% ethanol and 60% H2O, and that's it. Right. So what they do is they try to remove. Please review the beer on screen. We're getting there, man. They're supposed to remove everything else that happens during the fermentation that gets into the distillate, like the off alcohols, and any other higher alcohols that are getting. congeners are things that give you hangovers. It's supposed to remove that. So multiple distillations will help with that. So Smirnoff is triple distilled, whatever. And some things are, a lot of vodkas are charcoal filtered, for that reason. Sorry, I was watching the Caps win. All right, Doc Emmerich over there.
Drew Johnson, thanks
Did
for
they
$5.
win? Did they win? Is that it? I was kind of rooting for the Golden Knights because it makes me feel like I'm at medieval times. Like when you're just rooting for your color because you've been arbitrarily assigned it, which actually makes a lot of sense from like a society standpoint.
I need more lumbar support.
Caps got the cup. Okay, well that's fine. Be kind of weird if the Knights actually did win. Something would be up with that, actually. Probably. But fair play to them. They did really well.
Will Robinson, thanks for $2, Will. The problem was the chairs falling off the cables. Well, shit.
That doesn't have anything to do with what you're saying.
Diecast Stroller is... You can pour the beer a while. Hey, Mr. Regular.
So getting thirsty. Oh, yes.
Hey, Mr. Regular. Greetings
Todd
from
the
Southwest...
Axe Man.
Southwest Minnesota? Southwest MI Mill. I saw your
Michigan
Hatch review over a year ago and be hooked ever since. Keep up the great work. Thanks, man. Love the Hatch. Thanks for liking my silly show. Von Werfensberg making himself known. Which super chat is best super chat? Well, clearly yours. You're sticking with it. Thanks, man. Thanks for the $2.
It is, yeah.
Ever have either of you ever been in a low enough place in life that you've cut Maker's Mark with strawberry slushy in full view of the gas station cashier?
No, I did see somebody pass out from heroin at the 7-Eleven that I was at, but it wasn't me.
Where was this?
It was in Baltimore, of course.
Okay. Shout out to David Coletti, keeping it together.
Mama Juana. It's dark rum marinated in wood chips. It's a Dominican thing. People wearing plaster on their necks. That sounds okay. I mean, people put oak chips in everything. A lot of cheap wine is not made... The oak aroma doesn't come from barrels. It comes from oak chips or even oak dust. And so... That's not surprising at all. In fact, I really love blackstrap rum is kind of my jam in the summertime. If you're making rum drinks, blackstrap rum, like rum is made from molasses. Blackstrap rum is made from like what's left over after it's like too terrible to be molasses.
The scrapple of rum.
It's the scrapple of rum. Blackstrap is this black tar basically that's left over, and they ferment that and make rum out of that, and it's actually really good. I really like it. But anyway, so this beer right here is Todd the Axe Man. It's from Surly Brewing. Surly's in Minnesota. You can go to their brewery in Minneapolis, which is great. A cool little beer hall kind of feel. Surly's one of those Midwestern breweries that's just, you know, top notch. Almost everything they make is cool. They kind of go off style a little bit all the time, which is fine. Tilt the damn glass. Oh, people were yelling at me about this before. When you pour and you get enough foam, that enhances the aroma, right? So you want this amount of head, basically. And well done on cleaning your glass there.
Oh, sorry.
Seems to be a pretty clean glass. No, it's holding the head. So.
Oh.
Anyway, so Surly, you can drink this now. Todd the Axe Man is named after Surly's brewer.
I like how it smells.
Todd Haug, who is now at anybody?
Why would anybody do
class? Anybody know? Todd Haug left Surly to go to Three Floyds in Chicago. So Todd the Axe Man, this is a collaboration with Amager Brygges in Denmark. Denmark, I think.
This is my favorite so far.
It is an IPA. It's 8%, so it's kind of on the high end of single IPA. It's got Mosaic and Citra, and it's just great. You get the funkiness of the Mosaic. You get the tropicalness of the Citra. It's super good.
Yes, it's even better raw.
Have you ever had Brennivin? I have a tiny bottle of Brennivin at my house that my friend brought me from Iceland in case I ever have Hakarl, which is fermented shark. That's you're supposed to take a little bit of the Hakarl and then fire it down with this Brennivin. It's called Black Death. Also, it's primarily, I understand the flavor is mostly caraway seeds, which sounds great to me. I've had akavits that are caraway heavy, but akavit sometimes has dill in it too.
Von Wolfensberg said, and it's payday, and he's making up for the missed live cast. Well, thanks, man. Oh Schmidt.
What's your opinion on Hyundais?
Thanks for $2. What's your opinion on Hyundais? You never do them. Hyundai owns Kia now, and we have a very special Kia coming up on Monday. You are listening to member-supported public radio.
Peter Overby, NPR News, Washington.
Did you ever see, there's a supercut from BoJack Horseman of this one Diane ringtones, and it's always like, I'm Ira Glass, everybody has a story, your phone story is, it's ringing. I'm Ira Glass.
I do like, I'm mostly through, but I haven't finished it yet. But, that's funny, yeah.
Opinion on Hyundais.
Gross.
Hyundai is continually trying to be Honda. All the damn time, and
it sounds like Honda.
They have their CB. That's I see. It is, but
I mean, it sounds like it.
Yeah, Hyundai.
Well, yes, of course. If you
right,
but
Emerson,
to your average Joe 6-pack,
yeah,
Hyundai and Honda,
pretty damn close. And it's both an H logo.
Nigh indistinguishable.
What's the point of having a Honda if you can't show it off?
That's Superintendent Chalmers has a Hyundai.
Yeah,
that's the joke.
Superintendent Chalmers has a Honda.
Really?
He has an '86 Honda Accord, and later, but someone stole the H.
Right. Yeah, I know someone stole the H. I thought it was a Hyundai. I thought that was the joke.
Well, the joke was then Principal Skinner tries to steal an H off of a Hyundai for him. Turns out it was like yes. Jimbo Jones or Nelson's or somebody. Emerson Trimble, thanks for the $5, man. Just for it.
Steamed
thanks, man.
Hams kind of scenario shows up.
The best steamed hams was Jeff Goldblum reading Steamed Hams.
Yes, that is good.
Cold read too.
Sure, of course. Isn't he just walk in and do his lines and then leave? He just cold reads everything. I had two Hyundais. I had two Hyundai Elantras, and they worked fine for me, but I am not a car guy. I need a car that will get me somewhere, and then when I'm done with it, I can throw it away. And that is exactly what happened with my two Hyundais. One of them got crashed into by a minivan, which is not my fault. I was the third car in a rear end situation. Oh, rear end situation.
I try to get into rear end situations.
But the one that I had for the longest time, I tried to get Brian to sell it, and
I told him,
I said, I will take 5. You can have what was it?
It's like, I don't want this car.
I was like, you can have, was it $500 plus 10% of whatever you get over that.
Like, I can't sell this car
if you sell this.
I can't.
And he was like, I cannot ethically sell this car.
Yeah.
Because the fuel tank was about to fall off.
Yeah. That Hyundai Elantra, the fuel tank was held in by straps, and like metal straps. I'm like, these things are rusted all the way through. There's nothing.
They had a lot of cosmetic issues too, and I really
Dude,
actually
the bottom of the car was just rusted to shit.
it would never hold in the alignment either. I had a lot of alignments that would never like take, which is kind of like that. I don't quite get that.
Okay,
But like it would always eventually be about 5 degrees out of alignment.
I think what was going on, like looking back, your entire steering rack, probably the bolts that held those things in, was getting loose. So yeah, you can align them at the tie rod ends all you want, but if the entire steering rack is just weeble wobbling around there on the K member, it's not gonna. Your steering wheel is always gonna be.
Weeble wobbling on my K member.
Hello
ethically.
from Red Speeder 98 says hello from the Mitten. I'm not sure what that means. Found a Pontiac G6 GTP sedan with a 6-speed manual transmission. What are your thoughts on it? I think you got a great Bogan slop rocket right there, but you're gonna have a what? A Bogan slop rocket?
I've stopped trying to understand what you're saying.
Okay. Okay. What I think of it, I think the best thing about that car is the engine, of course, because I think it's an LS2 in there. But the interior of that car is mid-2000s General Motors. And your dash is going to be forever greasy. Your seats are going to be forever hard. They're going to be like non-supportive and hard. Ugh. Look, if you want just a Hoonmobile, it's hard to do worse than a Pontiac G6.
A Hoonmobile?
A Hoonmobile is a beater, but it's fast. Hooning is a cool way to say driving like a dick.
What's the etymology of this term?
It's like hooligan, but you're hooning.
Oh, it's like a
hooning
contraction of hooligan.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. And there's even a company called Hoonigan.
Is Ham's beer making a comeback?
No.
In as much like in a hipster kind of way, it's like more hipster than PBR. Like I'm gonna drink a worse beer than PBR.
This beer
like,
sucks.
oh, you're still drinking PBR? Do you know it won a blue ribbon in 1891 at the World's Fair? I'm drinking Ham's, a beer that sucks.
I'm drinking a Ham. The commercials were racist.
I'm drinking Olympia. Oh, yeah, Ham's commercials with the cartoons.
Cartoon Native Americans.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Not even gonna go there. I'm drinking a beer with racist commercials. I'm trying to out hipster each other. Pabst Tour was the best tour I've ever taken. Did we do the Coors tour in Boulder, Eric? Or in Golden? We did, right? Coors is pretty good.
Okay. A Bogan slop.
The Mitten is Michigan. Yes, I knew that. Did you not? Oh,
I didn't
miss
know
that. It's because people go, "Where are you from?" And people go, "I'm from this."
Thoughts on Sweetwater 420? I don't know what that is.
I want to say I've had it. I don't remember. But if you're looking for a beer that tastes like marijuana, let me recommend New Belgium Hemperor, HPA. It's made with hemp, but there are lots of beers that made with hemp that don't taste like friggin' sticky weed. HPA makes your whole house smell like Cheech and Chong just busted through the wall in the ice cream truck. It stinks. Every time, like I had it on draft at a bar and the whole bar stank like weed. It was crazy. I've never had a beer like that. And like Lagunitas, the hops that they use, they kind of go, "Oh, this is pretty dank, bro." It's like dank. And some of them do smell like marijuana, which is fine. But this beer takes the cake. Unbelievable. I don't know how they were able to like even get that by TTB. They must have used like a strain of like hemp that's like not that doesn't have any THC or something, but has everything else.
Really?
I don't know what they did. But they used hemp oil or something.
So that's what's the
CBD?
Yeah.
Well, that's different.
Okay.
Yeah. There's probably no they wouldn't be able to sell it if it had cannabinoids in it.
Right.
But yeah.
Sober Kennedy. Oh, that's a great name. Thanks for $2, man. Love Surly. Also opinions on the 234cc Hondas. Are we talking the Honda Twin Star engine? Because if so, that's a great engine. But the 234cc Hondas, it's not the engine that's in the Sachs Madass, but 234cc Hondas. Are we going all the way back to like the original Honda Twin Star from like 1978? I've never ridden one. I think they're a beautiful crankcase that they did, almost a little bit Art Deco. But I'd like to know more. I mean, I love all the small displacement Hondas. I think they're fantastic engines. Just don't think you're buying a little cafe racer, because you're not. You're buying a little commuter bike. You're buying the Hyundai Elantra of motorcycles. Von Waffensberg. Again, man, thanks for $2. Oh, I saw a 60s Falcon pickup today. You saw a Ranchero. Any thoughts? I think they're fantastic. None of them, a lot of them were just used up as pickup trucks. A few of them were saved. You need bigger leaf springs, and I need bigger leaf springs on the back of the Vagabond Falcon. Bruce keeps making fun of me that he thinks I'm banging fat chicks in the back, because when you fully compress the rear suspension, the drive shaft rubs in the tunnel. Like the drive shaft is pushing up against the car.
Yes, whenever I bang fat chicks, my drive shaft rubs in the tunnel too.
Because apparently I'm driving as well. You know, you get this burn mark around it. I can crawl in the...
Well, skid marks with fat chicks, they can have it. No, that's terrible.
Because fat chicks can't wipe themselves. I guess that's the joke.
That was the joke. It was not a good joke. I apologize.
Speaking of wiping. I bought a bidet and installed it.
What?
There's a bidet.
What? Now I got a shit here.
Yeah. Dude, I have a roll of Scott 1000.
Let's keep drinking beer.
It's lasted me 3 weeks. A single roll of toilet paper. All you do is check wipe. You know what? After you take a sloppy iced tea shit, like coming out, and then you just go full Ghostbusters, cleaning out the hotel on your ass with this, and you're like, well, I gotta check it with this wipe, and you wipe, and the water toilet paper doesn't change color. Like, wow, this is amazing. Best $30 I spent on Amazon.
$30 for a bidet?
$30 for a bidet attachment for your toilet.
Wow. Oh, okay. So it's a attachment.
Yeah, this one doesn't dry your ass.
Oh, the dryer is more.
It's a little bit high class.
I fucking love my bidet.
Dude, it's a game changer.
Yeah,
bidet is a game changer. Can I bring you some Michigan beers if there's a Chicago meetup, or is it weird to accept consumables from a stranger? Well, I can't take it on the plane and go home, and usually the car meets are at the end of the thing. I'd just be happy to see you out, Adam. Thanks. See, I got to be careful when you drink on the road. I don't know if there's anything worse than getting on a plane hungover. Well, because then you're at altitude and you're not... Tony Airlines says that the altitude in the cabin is 8,000 feet. So that's where the oxygen level is on a plane.
Oh. So like Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why you get drunk.
Springs is like 7,500, but yeah.
Yeah. Like the idea is you get on the plane, and it's supposed to help you fall asleep, and also to conserve whatever. I don't know how they pressurize that thing. Is there oxygen tanks on planes? How do they keep the pressurization that high?
I don't know.
No idea.
I'm not a mechanical engineer. I'm just a chemical engineer.
But yeah, I get fucked up easily on planes.
Power washer to a 5-gallon bucket.
Tape a power washer to yeah, dude. You can select the pressure. but mine one goes up pretty high.
Seem to like that, so
and it feels like a laser in your anus. Sometimes it's pleasurable. You know when you have to really scratch your ass and you're burning through toilet paper to do it? Well, now you're not.
It's like we flipped the switch when we had the Todd. All right, we still have 2 beers left. Friend.
Somber Kennedy. Yeah, let's do the Impending Descent.
Well, I said this one. I said I was going to talk about. We can just have a little bit of this one. I'll finish it. We have to save that one for last.
All right. Dude, I don't know if I can drink all this.
Here. Give me some of it. That's good.
Yes, the Twin Star Engine. Thank you, Sober Kennedy. Oh, it's such a good name. Thanks for $5, man. I've got a CB250, and it's the Tercel of bikes. Oh, I don't think we ever got the CB250 in the U.S., unless you're talking about the Honda Nighthawk, which in that case is a 244cc engine. And I love it. Basic as hell, 80 miles per gallon. Really, 80? Unless you're just getting unless you never go above 40 miles an hour. The best I ever got on my Honda CM 250C, well, yeah, 88. I got 77 once on that motorcycle. So, yeah, it's my diffuser. My confuser.
You don't use this for anything else, right?
It's a rechargeable flashlight.
This synthwave looking beauty is you're right in the. So we had Todd, and Todd is great. Highly recommended. Todd the Axe Man, if you can find it. Citra Mosaic, beautiful.
Sober Kennedy says he never goes above 40 miles an hour. Nice.
Wow. This beer, people were asking about New England IPAs before, and I want to tell you that Toppling Goliath in Iowa has been doing New England IPAs before they were called New England IPAs. Yeah, right. Search Inertia knows what's up. Scorpius Morcello. We didn't try it yet. I'll turn off this thing. The white balance on this camera is not super. How do I fucking? Oh man. Okay. This is called Scorpius Morcello. It's from Toppling Goliath in Iowa. You may know them from their flagship, which is called Pseudo Sue, which has a dinosaur on it. Pseudo Sue is all Citra. This one, I have no idea what hops are in it. It says Pacific Northwest and Southern Hemisphere hops. So I'm going to assume that there's some of those New Zealandy Nelson Sauvin and some of those Pacific Northwest Cascadey whatevers. But these guys are kind of OGs in the juicy IPA area before they were New England IPAs. Pseudo is 100% Citra, and it looks like sludge, right? It's very cloudy, and I imagine that this beer is going to be no different. And here we are.
Michael Granick, thanks for $2, Mike. Good night. It's been very interesting so far.
Use of this light.
I'm about to
look how cloudy that is. That's super cloudy. And what happens is basically they just don't filter it, right? And so they add a shitload of hops, which is fine, except that, you know, when you get to the bottom of a bottle like this, it's like really just like chewy, right? This is good. It looks like a Mitch Murder album cover. If you guys are into synthwave, Mr. Regular likes vaporwave unironically. He does,
dude. I have
his favorite song is Windows 95 Startup slowed down 100 times. Last time I was here, you told me that you actually liked vaporwave.
Yeah, I like it.
But this looks like an 80s, like, you know, it's the color scheme is. Oh, there we go.
Damn it! How do I do this without it shining?
Can you just use that one? No. Anyway, have more money. Favorite Northwest beer? Oregon. There's some good things from Elysian, even though Elysian is kind of crafty. Elysian Space Dust is good. I don't know some of the more cultier ones out there. I'm not really privy to. So, but anyway, Scorpius Morcella or Morcella. It is Future Funk. Oh, there we go. That might do it. Yeah. Anyway. This is a double IPA. It is made with, as it says, the Southern Hemisphere and Pacific Northwest hops. Wow. And by the way, I have to give a shout out here to the Mucky Duck Pub in Ames, Iowa, and to Justin for hooking me up with this. Justin is a longtime fan of regular car reviews, and we were just talking about this, and I think what happened was that I kind of did the Mr. Regular voice in a conversation with him, and he was like, "Oh my god, have you heard of regular car reviews?" And I was like, what? He was like, "Yeah, I've heard of it." And so when I asked him, I was at the bar and I said, "Hey, I'm going to go do a regular beer review." He hooked me up with this. So thank you, Justin, for Justin. The Scorpius.
So did you tell him, like, we've been friends since the 5th grade?
Yes, I told him. Yeah. And he's like, "You got to give me a shout out." So I did. There's a shout out, Justin.
It's been very interesting so far. Thanks. Sober Kennedy, have some more money. Favorite Northwest beer? Are you talking like Pacific Northwest? I don't know my regions of beer, and how do I...
That's why I mentioned Elysian Space Dust. But again, Elysian, if you really want to get technical about it, is distributed by AB InBev or one of the bigger companies. And so people like to shit on craft beer companies that sell out and get distroed and bought out by bigger craft.
Okay.
Or bigger by big beer, basically.
I wonder if this glow stick still works. And by stick, like I never did.
So this is friggin' awesome. We should not have saved it until we were 6 beers deep.
Oh shit, son, it works. This is gonna be able to...
Now we have a glow stick coming into the mix. That's gonna light up the night. There it goes. Nope.
Nope. Oh man.
Blue Light or Bud Light? Are you talking about lime or regular? Oh, Eric's still here. I was wondering if he was gonna notice that. We installed that light switch so you could turn the lights on and off. Not so you could have light switch raves.
Light switch raves.
We should not have saved this beer till the end because it is really good. It's super tropical.
Wait, did I even get any of this? I thought I came in here with a clean glass, but I got distracted by something.
You were getting a glow stick. It's those New Zealand hops generally are super tropical, like a mango-y, really high-toned tropical stuff, and this is no exception. But it has a bitterness.
Sorry, I bumped my microphone.
Bitterness and a greenness to it that calls back to the...
Yes, I have heard of the Honda Moto Campo diecast collector. I think it's a hunk of dog shit that everybody from the moto journalism reviews gets super crazy over. I know 80s.
Oh, you moved your glass. I almost poured a beer on your foot. There you go. Nice pour, Mansell. Jeez. Wow.
The Moto Campo. I mean, I'll ride it like anything else, but again, I think it's just okay. Tom, the Honda Moto Campo is a small motorcycle
Okay.
that was made to fit in the trunk of a larger car.
Like a pocket rocket?
Yeah. It's
Bigger than that?
Think real life Jetsons, only instead of a spaceship, it's a motorcycle. It's a motorcycle that folds up in this little box thing.
Oh, it's like a transformer.
Yeah.
So it's a full-size motorcycle.
No.
It's a small motorcycle that
It's a pit bike. It's like...
be folded up into a smaller...
Yeah, it's the idea that you drive your car close to the city, and then you pull out of this trunk this box that these handlebars come out of.
It's
and
tough being a box, but I'm living it up. Box.
Is that... Oh, I thought you were doing...
That's limousine, I think.
Yeah.
That's another Homestar Runner.
It's stuffy in a box.
Pretty cloudy.
Oh, it's stuffy in a box. I can't do voices. I was trying
to do walking there.
Yeah, I was trying to do a Chris.
It's tough being a box. I'm living it up in the box. Wow. Box. So, what you should know is that Toppling Goliath was doing New England IPA before New England juicy IPAs were cool. They were using all kinds of specialty hops before it was cool. That just looks like milk.
Harvey Milk.
No, not what I was going for. And that they were continuing to do it. Now, I live in Iowa and I have access to this, so it's great. But also, I do tend to kind of think that, like, if you let this sit in the refrigerator for a little while, it becomes this, like, fucking layer of hop jazz up to, like, here. Check out Back Pocket Brewery. I've had some Back Pocket. It's fine.
Diecast Collector says it was sold with the Honda City. Thank you.
You get all this hop jazz
Thanks
in
for
there
$2, man.
because they dry hop the shit out of it, and wow, it's chewy. You got to decant it, like literally, like, or you're gonna get a mouthful of trube. See, it's cloudy. It adds. There's a textural element to it.
Yeah.
Because of the cloudiness.
If this was sold at any sort of bar, it would be in that little tiny goblet.
Oh, most definitely. This one in particular is quite expensive.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing
I wish you could see this fucking synthwave.
Oh yeah, that's
looks
deep
like
purple going on there.
It looks like this guy is like the final boss, or at least a mini boss.
Remember the mini
Don't
bosses?
dad click at the end of the stream. What is dad click? Where you go, how do I?
How do I? Oh, it disappeared. I didn't touch it, and now it's doing something. Like someone made a Encyclopedia Dramatica on Dad Click, and it was well written.
Dad Click
inexplicably caused disaster with
a click.
Yeah. Well, this is before we figured out.
All things in Portuguese.
Dad, how did you do this? I don't know. It just did it by itself. I clicked. I did exactly what you told me to do. I wrote down all the steps. All right, Dad.
Oh, this beer is fantastic.
Oh, Schmidt. Thanks for $2, Oh Schmidt. Check out Blackport Brewery when in Iowa. What did I say? Back Pocket.
Not even close. Back Pocket. All right. This, I like Toppling Goliath. I love Pseudo. There's a lot of versions of Pseudo that are good. Pseudo Sue, like they do a Galaxy dry hop that's good. And Galaxy is one of those cool specialty hops that's quite tropical as well. This is fantastic. It's really awesome.
Bren says, as I sit here sipping on a cold Steel Reserve, 8% high gravity lager.
Keep it cold, Bren. Keep it cold. Don't let it get warm. Trust me. Put it back in the refrigerator if you need to.
I think I made a Steel Reserve joke once or twice. Steel Reserve also made Sparks.
Oh, yeah, Sparks. We got some Sparks. No, we went to a convenience store in Kutztown with Brian Shoup.
Yes.
And he got a Sparks. That's all I know about Sparks. It had
Sparks
caffeine in it.
It's like a Four Loko.
It was before Loco.
Before
a pre-Four Loko, Four Loko, a before Loko.
I drank a Sparks once. It was one of the worst hangovers I ever had. I also drank an entire bottle of wine. There's an awkward pause there.
Is this a Navy SEAL post?
The internal shipyard?
Friend, I'd back off if
Friend, I'd back off if I were you.
He was it's a dad clicking.
Oh. Yeah.
But it's what's this? How's that Navy SEAL copy pasta start?
I don't know.
It's like, what the fuck did you just say to me, motherfucker?
Oh.
I'll have you know that I was graduated first in my class of Navy SEALs, and Sparks is the fucking worst. I haven't had it, so I don't know. Dustin Fry said
you need
that.
more memes, Mr. Regular. Not enough memes.
More memes.
Make some haiku. Monies. Sparks is the fucking worst. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Meanwhile, this beer is just fine. It's very good. If you're in Iowa or southern Wisconsin, you should check it out. Because Toppling Goliath is in Decorah, Iowa, which is practically Wisconsin. There it is. Thank you, Jimmy Sanchez. What the fuck did you just fucking say about me, you little bitch?
Trying to make it. Yeah, it is.
I don't know how. Yeah. Yes, that's it. Jimmy that's the one I'm talking about. Opinion on Sierra Nevada beer. Here's my opinion on Sierra Nevada beer. OG of craft beer. Sierra Nevada was like the only craft beer for a while. And but, you know, just because you're the first doesn't mean you're the best. Now, I suppose if you're the first, you're the best at the time. But you know, it's fine. And I think they have the means to be fairly experimental, which I think is cool. I just, you know, if I'm going to a bar, I'm not getting a Sierra Nevada.
Get me, daddy.
You know,
Here's $2. Thank you, Jack Isabel. I'm gonna snuggle up with this glow stick, and it's pretend it's 1993, and my parents bought me a glow stick because I got 100% on my spelling test on that little piece of paper. That's
little
one
skinny piece of paper, yeah.
I don't know if they cut that up from a regular tablet or if there was a dedicated tablet of just those skinny spelling word. Okay, number 1 to
Miss
10.
Yeager.
Use the first line. I kept asking Mr. Lagola if we can write right on the test. When we get tests, I always ask them, can I write right on it? Yeah, you can write right on it.
Right.
Write right on it.
Right.
Because sometimes if you're taking the test, you can't write right on it. You got to write your answers on a separate sheet of paper. But if you can write right on it, it's easier.
Right.
Sparks is what you drank in college in Pittsburgh 10 years ago while smoking Wave cigarettes in the alley between Kitchen Labs and English 101.
I mean, that sounds like shoot. Well, there's quite a bit of this left.
Bren for $2 says, believe me, I know even Foster's is better.
Foster's.
I don't know. Better as compared to what? I've been waiting for this. Okay. This beer was given to me by a fan of RCR when I started talking about Impending Descent. And speaking of its near legendary status as this one-time beer Troegs made. This bottle is from 2012. This bottle we're about to drink predates regular car reviews. This beer was made to celebrate the end of the world in we're looking for the bottle opener.
In 2011? I got married in 2011 on the day that Harold Camping said the world was going to end. That was May 21st, 2011.
You've been opening the beer. You had it.
I had it. I probably... Oh, here it is.
This beer is called Impending Descent. I think it's a Russian.
It's going to be so skunked. It's an Imperial Stout, boy.
I need a fresh
There's
glass.
no hops in it. I wouldn't worry about the skunkiness.
I need a fresh glass.
I just rinsed mine out.
I'm going to get another one.
Do not drink. Indian Go Blind juice. Ha! Eric, have you had it? Have you had Impending Descent? I haven't. I haven't
had Impending Descent. I was gonna wait in line for it, but
it says do not drink. Indian Go Blind juice. There isn't an ABV listed on here, so I should probably look it up on Untapped.
There's two Impending Descents. There was one that was tapped earlier and another one that was tapped later, and this is the earlier of the two. Sober Kennedy $2 says have some more money. Grunt voice. Time to wipe. Thanks for $2, man. Von Wolfberg, thanks for $3. Again, Cyber Kennedy here trying to get Mr. R's shirt off.
Duh.
I don't know. I'm not drunk enough yet. Twin Leaf, hey, thanks for $20, man.
We're gonna let it air out.
Have a round on me. By the way, you should come down to Dallas and try some deep.
Oh, there's my joke.
Earlum stuff. Yeah, we were, Dallas, Texas. Well, we're going to be in Austin, but we're not going to venture out of Austin. It's just going to be there and in San Marcos. The plan is to film at Harris Hill Raceway and then possibly have a meet somewhere, either at Circuit of Americas or at the San Marcos Convention Center / Embassy Suites. Bren says Foster's beer is less gag-worthy than Steel Reserve, akin to a 6-inch salami, is easier to swallow than an angry 350 driver's angst. About losing to a professionally tuned 4-banger. Yeah, like a Smog era 350, 170 horsepower. Imagine, if you will, 2008. Energy beers have reached rural North Carolina. They are cheap as cheap. Your girlfriend is cheap. Sparks is a little less than $1? No. Really? And you have $10 to your damn name. How many beers until now? I don't know, man. Are you going to wait to 2023 to have your own Peugeot 206? Mexico has a lot of them. That'd be interesting. I mean, I'd almost have to move and get a better garage. And by that I mean a larger garage. Because that's how your car collection spirals out of control. I mean, I can only buy enough cars to fit in my garage, and I'm perfectly fine with 2. I had 3 cars for a while, and that meant one had to live out on the street. And that was no es bueno. Because then that car got all messed up, and I was always... One of the things you don't understand, or I didn't know about having multiple vehicles, is that you're always taking one to get the oil change, and then getting inspected, and then paying insurance. It's suddenly a bunch of paperwork, and it adds up. John Candy Corn, thanks for $2, man. Yep, no question. Just says here, have $2.
There's a lot going on with that name. John Candy Corn, John Barleycorn.
Yeah. So, is it time?
Oh, yeah.
Twin Leaf, thanks for $5, man. All that sucks. I have a CJ7 up here north of Dallas waiting for your review. Yeah, Texas is a big place. Oh, I have to watch this. Where's my clean glass? Oh, this is black. Blackest black of night times infinity.
It's like none more black. Really, when you think about it, you ask, can it be more black? And the answer is no. Spinal Tap. Yeah, that's not going to go anywhere, I don't think, if you light it up. Let's see.
Full strength from the Snap-on shop light. Gadoosh.
Whoa! Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Brown.
That can barely get through it.
Sam, this is better than a campsite.
Dude.
Yeah, that's...
Get through the rear of... Oh, shit. Sorry. Look at that.
So bright.
This shop light cannot get through this beer.
That's the full shop light. That's a very high SRM value. There's a label scratched on purpose. I don't think so, but you're right. These ones go to 11%.
Man, I've never seen a beer that just absorbs,
it could be.
Like no light gets through this.
I'm looking up what Impending Descent is. Oh, it's 9. It's not that bad. 9%.
I can see a little red at the very, very bottom of the glass. All right.
Well, cheers. And who is do you remember who gave you this?
Oh, yes, I do. And oh no, why can't I name? I was there when he got it and he gave it to me at Lancaster Brewing Company. He wants me to do his beer podcast and Skype in. I can't remember. Wait, let me get his Twitter.
We should acknowledge the guy that brought us this beer. I bought the rest of the beer, but the other one was provided by a fan. I guess I'm a fan. But well, I'll just tell you. Well,
William,
let's move this.
William Heltzauer.
Thanks, dude.
At the very top here, William
Heltzauer. Heltzauer.
All right, man. Here we go. Scratch beer.
Just concerned that this is like drinking old Rasputin in the back of the fridge during Ithaca Power Hour.
Yeah.
I thought there was some kind of bacterial thing you were trying to warn us about, Eric.
There's a bit of...
That's why I said I shouldn't have saved the Scorpius Morcella till now either, but here we are.
It smells like old Rasputin.
There's more high tone. There's more vanilla. What's the label say? Years before Troegs. No, it's just a scratch. This is a generic scratch label, so who knows what's in it.
Creamy at the end of it.
There is it, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of coffee.
The idea of what they said, the theme of the beer of Impending Descent is, well, if the world is going to end in 2012, what beer would you drink at the end of the world? And said, well, it's got to be heavy. It's got to have a high alcohol volume. What's that called?
ABV, alcohol by volume.
And it's going to take you're going to savor it, and it's going to take a while to drink, and it's going to sit with you.
Well, I agree with that. Wow. It's very long finish. I'm still tasting it. I took a sip 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And I'm still tasting this coffee thing. Black coffee, but like not a completely like dark French roast. There's still a lot of body to it. And
watching you experience this is like maybe what it feels like for people to watch me experience a car. If you can see through the beer, it's not dark enough. Thanks, O. Schmidt. What's the next time you'll be in Easton for a review? I already submitted my car. Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton. I've been meaning to come to Steel Stacks for a while. Pennsylvania's New Jersey.
Steel Stacks are in Bethlehem.
Yeah. Thanks,
Easton
Jack.
is
Isabel,
where the Crayola
$5.
factory is.
I don't know when I'd be in Easton next. Oh, that is the best Mr. Rogers segment where they make the crayons and the music.
Yeah, we recreated it when we were there. They found a big pile of crayons that no one was looking at, and they take the crayons and they like. Shoo.
Yeah.
Sarah was like, "Oh man, I'm doing it." She's like,
Things are happening, and God's on his throne. They're making crayons, and God is on his throne.
God is on his throne, and old ladies in aprons are making orange crayons. And they're coming out of that mold, by God. Thanks to your fan with the hard to pronounce name. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't have a shaker pint. I wish I was drinking this out of a wine glass.
I want to think. I want to contemplate things.
Yeah. The reverent silence is all you need to know.
Yeah.
In a very noisy podcast.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff.
$5 from Message Redacted. Was that something? Message Redacted? He just... Okay. $5. 7 out of 15 on a friend's bet. Did you ever figure out what was up with the Falcon's brakes? Oh, yeah. It needs a new proportioning valve. I'm going to get an Eastwood one. My money against a friend who said the rotors were warped. Or are you talking about that sound under braking? Turns out it's not the brakes that make the sound. It's under deceleration. Something's vibrating against something else. Malware Bytes wants me to update some crap.
Ska band recommendation. Monkey from San Jose, California.
Ooh. I don't know that band. Good band?
Check them out.
Monkey from San Jose, California.
$2 to reach.
Oh, Somber Kennedy. Thank you.
114 people. Surprised about him taking Warrior Burger Sunday morning style goes toe to toe with Goose BCS.
I'm sleepy. I'm
Yeah.
ready for the end of the world.
I think.
Why am I sleepy all of a sudden?
I think Bourbon County is overrated.
Bourbon County?
Bourbon County Stout.
What's that?
It's bourbon barrel aged imperial stout. It's one of the first, kind of the OG ones to do that. And there's a big release day every year, and I got some because I was in the store that nobody goes to. I was at like our hippie co-op grocery store, and in Iowa you can buy beer at the grocery store, which is cool. And I saw 2 Bourbon County stouts, and I was like, I'm gonna buy these now, but I don't want to like wait in line for it. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of effort to me for a beer that, well, I don't know. This beer probably required a lot of effort to get to it. It's good.
I was talking to one of the guys or maybe this was Matt Carlton, or one of the guys at Troegs, who said some of the, I don't know if they're Beer Advocate or Untapped superstars, if there's such a thing, that they'll get their beer and take it out to the parking lot and get in their car and drink it there.
When they get
the single bottle of Impending Descent or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's part of the experience, right? Waiting in line. The reason you wait in line is not because you go, I'm going to take the experience of this beer and subtract a couple hours of waiting in line for it. It's the experience of waiting in line. And often, in Iowa, some of the beer releases I've been to, people bring crazy-ass bottles of stuff and just leave them in the line. So as you're going through the line, there's all these friggin' crazy beers, and you just pour them. There's cups there, solo cups or whatever, and then when you finally get to the beer, you get your beer, and then you maybe drink it there, maybe not. But it's part of the experience, is like being there and experiencing this phenomenon. It's not I'm waiting in line. It's I'm waiting in line with a bunch of other, like-minded individuals. Is Founders KBS worth the cost / hype? KBS is on draft is usually about $10 for a 10 ounce. And so that is $1 an ounce, and that's about my limit. Yeah, I guess it's good. It's good, and actually, it depends if you want to get fucked up or not, right? Because it's not a low ABV beer. It's fine. I think if once you have it, it's less like if it's available to you, it's less exciting.
I want to answer Thomas King's question, then I'll get to Twin Leaf. Thomas King says, I'm just getting into literature into my life. Thoughts on Brave New World? I just finished it. I think Brave New World is better than Animal Farm, and it's better than 1984. It's the more plausible future. It also has way more sex than 1984, which just has the anti-sex league. So Brave New World is a story about a man searching for pain, and 1984 is a man trying to escape pain. So but I think Brave New World has a pretty neutral and almost happy ending, if not bittersweet. No, not even bittersweet. I mean, it's supposed to be a bad ending, but well, in Brave New World, everything just kind of keeps going. But in 1984, also things keep going, but he loves Big Brother at the end of it. But with Brave New World, John the Savage dies. Spoiler alert. And
Eric, I agree.
But he was just the flavor of the week. And then he ends. And people just sort of laughed when he was trying to flog himself as trying to become Jesus, and people laughed at him for his effort.
Yeah, I think part of it is, the Big Brother's... do I have a channel or something? I have an Untapped feed. It's Tom Mix Drinks. It's also my Twitter, Tom Mix Drinks. Big Brother's conformity is forced, enforced by violence.
Yeah.
In Brave New World, the conformity is
voluntary. And even desired.
Yes, exactly. So that's a key difference, and I think Huxley is more on the ball than Orwell in terms of the nature of
the human
dominating thought.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Twin Leaf says, see, I got that CJ from a guy who is a CJ is a Jeep from the 70s. Who was one of the original Dodge Viper
sultry
technicians.
Saxophonists. He's already said there was a lot of sex. We read it. I read it sophomore year. Did you read it sophomore year in high school?
No.
I read Mr. Palomar.
Yeah, you were in AP and I was in CP. So I had to wait a year. Anyway, it was one of the original Dodge Viper techs that were certified to work on him. He had 2 Vipers in his garage and a third one out in the yard. They are kind of truckish, aren't they, when you put them in low gears? Thanks for $10, Twin Leaf. It's
Ben Franklin, Bren, I think, right? Brent said, a man who voluntarily gives up freedom in the name of security deserves neither. I think that was Ben Franklin. Perform is also positively by way of drugs and orgies. Exactly.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Tap into pleasure rather than fear.
Von Wolfsburg, thanks again, man. $14.99. Time for sleep. Time for sleep. I've got a Cruise, Chevy Cruise hatch 6-speed RS. I submit to you for Mr. Regular if you ever hit up Phoenix. Night, fellas. We'll make a post on Twitter and Facebook when RCR, the Southwest, comes about. Don't know if it's going to be Vegas or Phoenix. It won't be LA. I don't even know when I'd be in LA next.
Back to Eric's statement about whales. A white whale is a beer that you have to wait in line for or chase, like Captain Ahab, to actually find. And they rarely live up to the hype. I agree with that 100%. Although he mentioned KBS, CBS, whatever. I think CBS is better than KBS. CBS is the Canadian breakfast stout. It's got maple syrup. It's pretty good. This beer is really great.
Yeah. What's that song that goes Elegantly Wasted? I think it was called Elegantly Wasted.
I think it was called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down.
I think it was called Mindy's or Mandy's mixtape on the bus. I wonder if that song was on there.
Colleen. Wait, no. Colleen was no. Karen was the bus driver with the cool mixtape with Offspring, and it was like half an Offspring album and then some like other metal stuff.
And then someone said, "Hey, Karen, play this tape," and it was the Jerky Boys. Do you remember that? On the way home? Oh
yeah, no, I remember her playing the Jerky Boys.
Yeah, on the bus.
And on the middle school bus, by the way.
I've got warts. I
got warts all over my ass and my genitalia.
I've got warts inside of my ass.
Jerky Boys.
Daniel Hutton, $5, says, "Thanks for the good work. Been watching since almost the beginning. Love for you to drive my 2001, I guess, Volvo V70 XC someday. I'm in Maryland. Don't know when I'll be in Maryland next. Do I want to fly to Raleigh or do I want to drive to Raleigh? If I drive to Raleigh, it means I got to drive around Richmond.
Yeah.
And
do it overnight. Do it at like 4 a.m.
Like stay up all night or just get up fuck ton early at like 3?
To get to Richmond, you have to leave at like 8.
8 at night?
Right, till you get to Richmond in the middle of the night.
I don't know if I can do that. And get there in the morning. Staying up all night. The last time I stayed up all night was not including like flights where your time zones are all turned upside down. Was the all-night party in the year 2000. It's been 18 years. That was the last time I stayed up all night.
You're obviously not an engineer.
No.
I stayed up all night like 2 months ago.
It feels so weird. Like I think like I get kind of scared when it's 3 a.m. and I'm still awake.
My song for that, when it's blue, it's like 4:30, 5. Robins start coming out.
Yeah.
Ben Folds.
Yeah.
Good morning, sun. I am a bird. And I'd be like, fuck birds. I hate birds for that reason.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like, your lab reports due. Your lab reports due. I'm a bird. It's morning. Your lab reports due.
Oh, it's 4:10 a.m. Let me sing you the song of my people.
Yes, exactly. Heart Ben Folds.
Heart Ben Folds. Judas Priest, I'd fly to pick you up if you come to... Judas Priest, fly. I'll pick you up if you come to Raleigh. That drive blows. You know, I agree. That's...
Yeah. Raleigh's nice, though.
Super, yeah.
Cool town.
It. Yeah. We were there once with the Southern Stab. See, I want to come back to Raleigh because there's a guy with a Model 3 there, Tesla Model 3, and I want to see all what the hubbub is about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and its braking problem.
It's
that
probably
was noted.
not an expensive flight.
No, it's a
Worst case scenario, Charlotte,
Harrisburg, Raleigh.
just direct. Because Charlotte is a major U.S. Airways hub, right?
Okay, so it may have to go through Charlotte. Fuck, I don't want to do that.
Charlotte's far away from Raleigh, though. It's 2 hours.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I'll look it up on American and see if they go from Harrisburg to Raleigh. If not,
recommend the town, though. Great town.
Yeah.
We're kind of at the denouement here of the old.
Yeah. It is midnight.
Reviews.
The bewitching hour. Volvos remind me of that time I was. Oh yeah, you're quoting my stuff back to me, dude. It's the new sincerity. I have a MP3 on the tiny USB drive plugged into my, the mini USB stick plugged into the USB port of my head unit. And on that USB stick in my head unit is a song called Weather Channel. And it's just the bumpers. And it's like, and now your local conditions, music. Intensity is indicated by the color code at the bottom of the screen.
Does it really?
It's a good 8 minutes.
And now your local forecast.
Accurate and dependable from the weather. Come on,
have you heard
that one Ben Folds?
Ben Folds Weather Channel music, right?
Kick out that Weather Channel shit. Weather channels to me, I mean, that's my God is on his throne moment.
Frontier will start flying from Harrisburg to Raleigh-Durham direct this summer. Yeah, Frontier sucks because they don't keep a route. You'll get a great route. If you love to go to Raleigh, you'll have that route, and then they'll go, no, it's not a thing anymore. It was $100 to fly there, but fuck you.
Really? That's how cheap Frontier is?
Oh, Frontier is very cheap, but they're a nickel. They're like Spirit. They're a nickel and dime.
Are you gonna lose your luggage?
That's their. Well, I don't know about that. That's their business model.
Because I'm going to be taking that Pelican case with me with like the entire RCR camera gear in it.
Yeah, no, I'm not implying that they lose luggage, but most beautiful word ever, petrichor.
Don't know what that is.
I think I'm smelling a little petrichor right now. Petrichor.
State of mind just says, "Oh fuck, Frontier."
You don't know. You would love petrichor.
Yeah.
Petrichor is the smell of rain, like the smell that you go outside and smell after a hard rain. O3. It's ozone. It's mostly volatile from the ground, from the soil.
Gotta pee. Thank you, none of your business, for the $2. I gotta pee. Notice I'm on my second pee. Tom is on his 0 pee. Unless you already.
I peed once.
Oh, okay.
I peed while I was talking to my brother, who's outside, by the way.
Like outside here?
He just got here.
Well, he can come up.
I'll tell him to come up.
Yeah.
You guys want to meet my brother?
I'll go down and tell him to come up.
Go down.
Has he been waiting in the car?
He just got here.
Oh, okay.
Well, friends, it's been a wild ride. This Impending Descent was, here's the thing about reviewing a beer that you will never have. You will never drink this beer. Eric drank it, but he's a beer connoisseur. But most of you, you'll never have this beer. You'll never have Scorpius Morchella. I'm sorry, but you'll just never have it unless you drive to Iowa to get it. And even then, you're not going to know where to go. Because I don't know where to go to get it. I got it at the Monkey Duck Pub. This is very different from a car review. Because car reviews, you're reviewing a thing that is... Anybody can get in a car and drive it, right? And your experience is not going to change dramatically versus, time, right? Unless the car is breaking down, right? It is natural. But like beer and wine are these kind of ethereal experiences, right? Like this beer changed a lot over the time since it was in the barrel 6 years ago in 2012. And this beer is going to be for shit in a year because it's an IPA. And you can't... Well, that's true. Certain cars can't be obtained. That's true. But if you could find it, that you can go find that one car and drive it. Right? This beer is going to be for shit in a year because hops will disappear. This beer is going to change, but probably get better. This is going to be shit. This beer is still not great. It's still,
Here,
but like,
you can have a seat. I'll just move my mic. I don't know if I'm going to be off mic or off camera or however the hell this goes.
I don't know how to screen.
Yeah, let me.
But
have
anyway,
the screen.
It's different. I just started waxing philosophical there for a minute. That's my.
I'm
brother.
off screen. I'm over here. But whatever.
I started waxing philosophical by saying that a car, somebody's car, you can review it, and somebody else could go get in that car and drive it and have a similar experience.
Yeah.
But this beer, if you have it in a year, it's going to be different or non-existent.
Is there any left in this?
There's some left in that. There's some Scorpius. Get Galaxy glass, man.
Yeah. This is Impending Descent by Troegs. This beer was bottled in 2012. It was supposed to commemorate the end of the world in 2012. It's what kind of beer you would drink at the end of the world. It's thick.
So we've come a long way from Bud Light Orange. Are there any of those fruit beers left? We definitely finished the SeaQuench.
The Sparkleberry. There's still stuff in that.
Sparkleberry.
Oh, I gotta revisit this.
Don't revisit. Nope.
I think I'm gonna pop myself down just a little bit. Now I'm on mic like crazy. Since Tom is off mic.
Why am I off mic?
Off mic is anywhere more than 4 inches away from the mic, but that's fine because I have you potted up. Me. Actually, I'm kind of fine. Tom, mic check on you.
How's that?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
There's fine. Your mic check.
I got your mic check right here.
Is this another beer podcast? Joe Sloppy Joe is joining us fairly late in the podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a
If I was convinced the world was ending, I might try Coors Banquet. John Candy Corn, you would not be disappointed. The Banquet beer is not bad. It's not good, but it's not terrible. This Weather Channel is pure art. A recommendation for Macros 82 to 19.
You know, I was thinking of sampling NOAA weather off of a little walkie-talkie that has the weather channel on it, where it's just a robotic voice and then slowing it down.
Right. A storm warning has been issued for the following counties:
Northumberland, Perry,
Berks,
Dauphin,
Schuylkill. The robot is not good at Schuylkill.
You know what? You know where I was hanging out before I came here? Port Clinton.
Why?
I was at
Did you go to that place with the French fries?
No, I didn't go to a place with a friend. I've never ate at the Port Clinton Hotel ever.
That's one.
Yeah. Have you ever been to the Port Clinton Hotel? Oh, we're also joined by Alex Mansell, Tom's brother, who's in the area. You have?
I have.
Is that all right?
Great.
Not disappointed.
It's good.
Surprisingly good.
It's fine.
I was there just cleaning up the pavilion and then hung out with the hikers. Like, some of them love the pavilion. Some of them.
Oh, you're doing Appalachian Trail stuff.
Yeah. I was hanging out with Alex. Try Sparkleberry.
Whoa.
It's for getting white girl wasted.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Alex is always white girl wasted.
Keenan McCullum, thanks for $2, Keelan, and willing to drive for
$5 and $2.
Oh shit! I'm from Metro Detroit.
Paid $2 to add on that he was willing to drive to PA.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Holy heck, Twin Leaf with the drop in the cash. Keenan McKellen and willing to drive to Pennsylvania. Please Thank you for wanting to drive from Detroit here in your F-150 just to hang out with my ass. But we're going to try to do more Midwest stuff out there when I can.
You can come to Ames. I know several people
there
who
has
are
to
fans
be
in Ames.
We have to do RCR Ames. It has to happen.
Well,
We'd have to find a place to have the meat, though. Have
the meat.
I gotta have the meat.
A place that would be amenable to cars burning out in the parking lot.
I wouldn't have my guys burn out in the parking lot.
But what are the specifications for a meat?
You just have to have. It's a car show. You would have a car show. You just have to have a big enough parking lot.
You have the Mucky Duck.
Mucky Duck.
It's a bar in Ames, British pub.
And they have a big parking lot? That's what we need. We need a big
big?
Parking lot. Like a mall parking lot. Like enough to hold 100 cars.
I know where there's a big parking lot. There's a Kmart that just closed. You can do it there.
Twin Leaf. What's half said? Can I have a blow jib?
Blow jibber.
What's a blow jib as opposed to a blow job?
Well, is it always sounding to say hand jibbers?
A hand jibbers?
Hand jibbers. No, the league. That's what they say.
What?
You lost me, man.
I don't know.
Well, like the movie.
I know what a blumpy is, and I know what a and I know what a hoblo is.
A hoblo?
Hoblo.
Getting a blowjob from a hobo.
Hoblo.
I should have gotten that one.
Yeah.
Twin Leaf says, "Well, I just got off work."
You should have gotten one.
No. I should have guessed what that was. Not gotten one.
Should.
Twin Leaf says, "Well, I just got off work. Been watching the whole stream while driving for Domino's in my non-silicone Sally, which means she's driving a Honda Fit.
She all natural.
You're the reason I got my Fit in the first place, Mr. Regular, and I'm happy with her." Oh, thanks, man. Mr. Regular, you should drunkenly recite the GS 500 review. I can't really remember much of it other than I can stick a steady cam up my urethra. And, I'm stiffer than Tom of Finland at a wrestling match. Which I like dropping that 1970s art reference. Tom of Finland was this one artist who drew like these hypersexualized males. If you write Tom of Finland Google image search, you're just going to find these like Freddie Mercury looking guys. I mean, they're artistic drawings and like big jaws, big mustaches, that sort of stuff.
Like futa kind of.
Yeah. Well, but they're not
penises.
Women.
What's the one? I don't know what the style is.
Oh, you're talking about hyperphallicism or something like that.
Sure.
Hyper. That's it. Yeah. No,
hyper.
It's not that.
It's just called hyper.
Yeah, it's just called hyper. Yeah.
I heard phallic.
We've run the gamut from TF.
To that. Well, then there's vor. That's another.
For eating people.
Yeah, but like
in a sexual way.
Yeah.
Eating them.
Yeah, but not like
cooking them in an oven.
No, not cooking them in an oven. Like a snake eating something bigger than itself.
Yes, that's a thing. That is a thing.
That is a thing.
I'm gonna be slowly eaten by a snake, everyone.
Yeah. Anyway, does anybody know what nummies are? No, I don't know what nummies are. That could be anything. Justin Basil says, "Will you do a train review?" I've had people offer me trains, or they're part of some sort of historical restoration club.
There's a lot of train freaks out there.
Yeah.
No offense to you people who are car freaks.
You mean you people?
A lot. You mean you people. There's a lot of people who are really into trains, is all I'm going to say.
I understand that, okay, it's like a diesel engine, but it's running on an electric generator, and that's how it turns from motors and stuff. The thing about, I'd like to just put my hand on whatever the throttle is of a train and say, I'm doing this, but you can't turn it. You can't even see where you're going, really. Well, that's the old-timey trains where you're behind a boiler. Most trains are electric, and you just sit in front and
You
kind
can
of
shovel coal into a train.
Could
I
do that.
guess.
But how would you film the train going by? You could have like that static shot of the train going by, but you can't do a tracking shot. And you can't get close to trains, as I've learned, while they're moving around because there's laws against that. And also, trains can't stop.
I mean,
They can.
Well,
Just not.
No, there's no panic stop on a train. So,
well, yeah, it's just 500 feet later.
yeah.
Then you want to stop.
After destruction.
Running a historic train lemon party. Oh,
They should call this beer Lemon Party. This Chrissy, this super sour beer that's super lemony, should be called Lemon Party.
I'm gonna drink the end of this.
Alex, you want to have a lemon party?
I'd love lemon party.
.org.
I've been there too many times by accident.
Alex, can you pass me the one beer that has beer in it? The glass. That'd be good.
There you go.
Well, this was
The Nebulous we killed. Is there
I
still
forget
some
what
Bud
this-
Light Orange over there, son? Oh, damn.
There is.
Felix 240SX with $1. Thanks, man.
Felipe.
Another $1
He
message
retracted his message.
Oh,
He was probably mad that you called him Felix instead of Felipe.
oh man, I'm sorry.
Which is best Mustang?
Best Mustang.
No Mustang.
Best Mustang is one that isn't crashed at the outside of a car show.
Mm.
Do I have a favorite Mustang? Which Mustang is best
I fucked up.
Mustang?
You done fucked up, Felipe.
Have you ever seen or listened to the old Kmart in-store announcements that people have put on YouTube? Aesthetic. No, I don't. Trey Roush. Can you do me a favor, Trey Roush? Can you send me an email to regularcars@gmail.com and link me to that shit, man? Because I went to the Schuylkill Mall as they were closing it, and the day I went there, they had the doors fully open to the gutted Kmart, and I'm like, there's one guard here, and he doesn't give a shit. I'm just walking around inside this empty Kmart, and I'm like, and I walked into like the bathrooms. I'm like deep into a Kmart with no.
You've been the guts of the Kmart.
I'm walking back by the loading dock. Like, I can get why they maybe want to keep people out of here, that they didn't want people ripping off their DeWalt tools, because there's just like tools sitting everywhere. Like, if I was, an opioid addict, I'd be taking this shit. But I just walked around inside. There's something eerie about being in a big empty space that has nothing in it.
Yeah.
Like a convention center.
It's agoraphobic, kind of.
Yeah. Which is weird because you don't get it outside. I remember like Giant Stadium a little bit. Now that was...
Yeah, but there's a boundary.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the boundary that might make it, yeah.
And it's really far away.
How's
There's
that?
a lot left in that.
No.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Maybe if we mix it with the Bud Light Orange.
Dude, Tom, that's... Oh, you're doing it in your own crucible. Fine.
My own crucible. Just a little bit of this lemony stuff in the Bud Light Orange.
When my powers combine, I'm Captain Mistake. Oh my God, is that Shoeince on the right?
Still not very good.
Who's on the right?
Shoe Nice.
Shoe Nice?
Oh my God. You probably do look like Shoe Nice with that hat on.
Yes.
See, you can
I
see
am
in the
that
picture,
person,
there's
whoever that
hardly
is.
any, like, they're looking
Yes.
at us through the webcam in this.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
we have another camera
My name
down
is
here
Shoe
on the table
Nice.
looking at the...
All right, we need a bottle of Absolute vodka for Shoe Nice over there.
All I have in the fridge is
My
gin.
specialty is shoegaze.
Alex sounds hilarious. Thank you,
fucking
Stan,
am.
man.
Oh,
Dude,
okay.
Alex is
I can
right.
see that.
train troop. This is winding down. We're going on 3 hours now. on
I'm a
this
little
podcast.
offended by your comparison to me to Shoe Nice, although I would say that the lighting is not great in here.
Yeah, normally when we're doing RCR podcasts, I'm bumping the wire. That's why the camera's moving. We're doing it during the daytime when we open the windows and we get tons of natural light in here. But we're right now lit from above us, and it's 12:30 a.m. What is your feeling? What you're feeling is the absence of life and people where you expect there to be. Is there like being a dead thing? Maybe.
Yeah. So
have you ever taken salvia? That's kind of like that. I remember when that was legal in Pennsylvania. I ordered some to my parents' house.
You're right. I just looked at who Shunice is, and I don't want to be him at all.
No, you don't.
But yeah, I think you're right. Whoever just said that.
Billy Mays here.
Billy
We
Mays
already
here.
went with
Wait, is that
Billy
Eric?
Billy Mays. Mill Amber, 319. Billy Mays Oxy Mission. No, that was me.
Yep.
We're gonna do it like we always did. Billy Mays here. That was before he died, tragically.
I know.
Here's
Here's my last $2. Love you, regular. Thank you, Twin Leaf.
Mill Amber, though.
Thanks,
I think
man.
you're right about it's the expectation that someone would be there because you're in this confined space. And when you're in the mall, there's
Yeah.
people in the mall,
Mhm.
right? Being in the mall when no one's there is weird.
Mm-hmm.
And being in the mall when no one's there and no things are there, there's an expectation of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keenan
Which
McComb,
beer is-
LOL, salvia. Yes, salvia.
Which beer is best beer?
Oh. Salvia is like when the worst thing you can do with salvia is having someone with you trying to fuck with you. That can make the trip go nasty really quick.
Laughing,
Every
fall
single
apart.
one of my friends.
Laughing,
Really?
laughing, fall
Yeah.
apart.
Everyone.
Fish.
If you do salvia, you got to do it with a person who trusts you and just gonna sit, and then you'd like lay on the couch for like 5 minutes, and then whatever sort of experience you're gonna have, you know, play some music that you always have fond memories of, and then you'll be fine, man. I mean, make no mistake, salvia is a very powerful hallucinogen. They say it's the sensation of doing it is similar to dimethyltryptamine. So I enjoyed it. I did it when it was legal in Pennsylvania before it became Schedule 1. Again, you could just order it to your house. Because Salvia divinorum, the plant, is derived, I think, from a mint plant, is whatever the classification is, and that's how it was a thing. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Not even that kind of doctor. So,
Do salvia.
you know what the
just
funny
before
thing is?
saying that in a
I did
Christmas
that
dinner
while
with
I
the
was a
family.
teacher, and like Mr. Kettner, like I was like honest when I was a substitute. Like, yeah, well, if you do, like, I had this thing like, look, guys, you're seniors now. You're gonna go to a college party. If there's a couch in the hall, leave. There's something about if you're at a party and there's a couch in the hall, that's a nasty ass house. Leave.
We had a couch in our porch for a long time, and they got infested by squirrels.
So guys, you're hanging out. This podcast is kind of winding down now.
Oh yeah, we're
Wrap
done
this up.
drinking beer.
We're definitely done.
Stop! Don't get drunk or drunk.
Don't get drunk-a-dunk.
Still some
An
Scorpius
empty
here.
K-Marks, yeah.
Snappo.
Oh yeah,
Skip that, Chrissy.
guys. I think we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks for hanging around with us for $3.
Did we finish?
Shout out to the United States Military Central. No, the United States
Marine Corps.
Okay.
Wow.
Dude, when it comes to mispronouncing things.
Thanks, Devil Dog. Also, it says Devil Dog, which is a Marine.
Oh yeah.
That's what that thing. That's the thing that they
I
do.
thought they were Diamond Dogs. Wait, that's the video game.
No, that's Moulin Rouge.
No, that's Diamond Dogs. That's Metal Gear Solid 5.
Also, Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
Pick it up.
Also, Charlie Borman. No, wait. Ewan McGregor. right? He's in Moulin Rouge. Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Okay.
My gift is my song.
Yours isn't.
And this one's for you.
Temmie says, "Ooh."
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
owl face.
Notices your
to me.
bulge. Oh, what's this? That's the meme. Thank you for doing things. Hope you enjoyed the brown. Which salvia is best salvia? Like, seriously, if someone says, yo, I got 100x. No. Just get whatever is the smallest dose you can. Believe me, it's enough. You're going to watch your vision turn 2 dimensions. You're going to watch everything that you see kind of tilt sideways. It's going to be like tilt shift the world. Drugs. Give me butt drugs. Just cruising Cleveland's Craigslist and found a 1973 Chevy hot dog stand for $1,600. I kind of wanted to buy like a food cart and have like a taco cart. We don't have any good tacos in this county. We got that place in Pottsville. The Garfield Diner is now a taco place.
Yeah, but
Did they get
it's
shut
not
down?
really a taco.
You should start a taco stand at my golf course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
all about it.
I had this like backup plan. Like if YouTube like starts to not work out, I have enough to buy a food truck, and like I'm not gonna call it "Let's Taco About It" because everybody does,
Right.
but like. And I can't do taco time because I'm sure
There's taco time in Iowa is a thing. There's taco time and Taco John's right across from each other.
Taco smell.
This guy's got a taco smell.
Taco smell.
This guy's got a CDL hack. I know this isn't a car podcast, but I don't know when I'll be on when you're live. You can drive a semi without a CDL. Cover all names and numbers with a blank paper and write on it "not for hire." I don't know. That seems pretty dodgy to me.
Yeah, coming out there with like black electrical tape on your DOT number on the side of your. I don't know.
Cover up how's my
Salvia is
driving,
like a
1-800
cartilage thing.
shit. You got to cover that shit up too.
Drunk thoughts on the Mazda 5, that minivan. I considered that as a camera car for a little bit, and I also considered the Mazda 6 GT station wagon until I realized that their head units are not DIN. So they're not single DIN, they're not double DIN. A DIN head units is that universal size. You can buy any head unit and just slop it in there. Any IROC Z in the future, rife with material. I want to do an IROC Z so bad. I think there's 1 or 2 submissions for it, but I don't know.
Do you like real tacos or Taco Bell tacos? I eat both.
You know, Taco Bell has its place if you like eating, you know,
Right
the
now,
same
for
stuff
example,
that
would be
fuels
a
your
great time
pellet
for
stove.
us to visit Taco Bell.
There's always time for Taco Bell.
There is always
Always.
time for Taco Bell. Medical
Chunk of
card only
dignity.
costs a chunk of dignity and a cup of bloodless pee.
Good luck with that.
I hope Governor Wolf puts through that legislature that's supposed to do something. I don't know.
They're just not DIN. They're integrated into Dash Electronics.
I'd like to keep this podcast going, but it is almost 1 a.m. It's time to wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us for RCR beer reviews with Tom Mix. You find him on Untapped at where?
Tom Mix Drinks.
Tom Mix Drinks on Untapped. Thank you to everybody who...
and Twitter.
What do you see there, Alex?
You guys have been on here for 3 fucking hours drinking beer.
We drank 8 beers.
Thank you to everybody who donates through Patreon. You're helping us exist as a larger YouTube channel than we really are. And you're funding our travel budget. So our plans is Austin, Texas next month. And I still got to buy my plane tickets for that and set up the hotel room. And maybe Raleigh, North Carolina, and definitely Austin, Texas, part 2.
If this is your Thursday night, what's your Friday night like?
My
4 hours.
What's that song that you were doing before?
What?
You were doing you were like, this reminds me of that song, and it was like
Oh, that girl song. Oe, oh, oe, oh. That one?
Chubby Chaser ice cream trucks.
What's a Chubby Chaser ice cream truck?
I don't know, but I love it.
Is that just the username?
Search Inertia is pretty cool. Chubby Chaser ice cream chucks.
Oh, you mean calling the ice cream truck a Chubby Chaser?
I don't know.
I think I get publicly shamed for that. Guys, we're going to wrap this up now. Thank you so much for watching RCR Beer Reviews with Tom Mix, and in the later sessions, Alex. So thank you so much, guys. We're going to wrap this up. Thanks for everybody who did the super chat, and once again, thanks for liking regular car reviews and donating to our Patreon. Those of you who do, we couldn't do this without you. Have a very good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Adios.